5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. We're a little bit late, but we're still here with the first of two semifinals of the Cobx Masters 2018. Our sixth stop on the road here. We're in Chennai. And it's the Underdogs versus Dagger Nation here. Should be a pretty even matchup here. Some Divines and Ancients in both teams. So I'm looking forward to what kind of draft these teams can bring out here. My name is Dragonjob. I'm John Papadum. Welcome to the show.
Hey there, thanks for having me once more. You were waiting for that Underdogs joke from my end, admit it. We both know it. Yes, I wanted to make one, but you were a little bit faster. All we need now is a PA pick.
I did make a joke.
We're gonna make a joke. It's gotta happen. You have to deal with this. And if they win, you're gonna have one tomorrow as well. But hey, all we need is a PA, and the destiny is fulfilled.
Radiant team ban.
Well, there's a few other heroes that have daggers, like PA.
Spectre.
Yeah, Spectre is the second big one. Queen of Pain also has a dagger.
Oh, true. He also has a dagger. I think that's all. We only have 3 heroes.
Surely there's more, right?
Ricky, of course.
Oh yeah, Ricky. Ricky has a dagger.
2 daggers.
Bounty Hunter sort of has a dagger.
No, that's like a very weird sword. That's not a dagger.
Set, like the offhand thing can be daggers in some sets.
Dire team back.
Actually curious. Who else has a dagger? There's one more hero, but I can't think about it.
I think that's it actually.
Sky Wrath May.
I'm looking at the hero list right now, but
yeah. Welcome to the club, buddy.
I mean, this is very important actually. This is extremely important. But
TA, does that count? No, it's a blade, but it's kinda daggerish, I guess.
No.
No, it's a projectile.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, the Psy blades. It's like some Psy energy. It's not even a proper blade.
Is it Talon a dagger though? Looking at Venge.
That's not a dagger, no.
I don't know. I'm not good with blades.
Evidently.
Wow. Anyways,
right.
We have some bans, we have some picks. I'm gonna run through Underdogs, and you can take the other side, because Underdogs ban out all the heroes we don't like to see. There's a Warlock ban, there's a Wisp ban, there is a Chen ban. No early roaming, no Warlock lanes, I guess. And on the side of Stagnation, it's Undying, Coddle, and Doom. A bit unorthodox.
Well, all of these are a lot of these are heroes that really take control of the early game, especially as far as Underdogs is concerned. Chen with rotating in, Ion Warlock very strong at stabilizing lanes and making you not die just by healing up and providing that bit of extra sustain. So they just don't want to deal with that. Dagger Nation. Right now, the Undying, the Doom, also very strong constituents of any sort of strong offlane. But things are already getting a little bit more interesting. Scarab Mage, a hero that we see time and time again. Underdogs first pick that one up. But straight up with one of the counters, Nyx Assassin, he's gonna find some easy food later down the line.
Yeah, this is just like my pudge. Oh, like not my pudge, like my pubs, that is. Scarab first pick into immediate counter pick, if only. But yeah, Nyx Assassin coming out, a little bit of an overreaction, I would say. It's fairly early, and Nyx is not a hero likely to get banned that often against Scarab. Is it really worth picking your position 4 Nyx Assassin against the Scarab that can just swap towards the position 5?
This might not necessarily be even a full position Nyx, because it could still be an offlaner, and it's not too bad in that situation either. And it's not like he's completely useless and against any other heroes too. Like Nyx Assassin provides a whole lot of utility, crazy amount of lockdown.
10 seconds remaining.
Even if you don't instantly burst down cores. So I don't disagree with that pick in general. Especially if you add a line on top of that. I mean, you've already got like good 5-6 seconds of chain lockdown on a single target with the Hex, with the extra stuns, depending on whether Nyx Assassin can make use of that by carapace. And that in itself is just one of the oldest ideas of how to put together a draft in Dota. Just pick a lot of stuns. And things will be very, very easy indeed.
Yeah, pick lots of stuns or pick Undying, but Undying banned out, and we have the Bloodseeker banned out. Following up by Dagger Nation with the Lifestealer. Is this the slug? Like, it's gotta get banned, right? on Dagger Nation, or they snack it up themselves. But with Spectre Band and everything, like this looks so much like Slark to me.
Does it really?
For Underdogs, that is. Like, there is a Hex, yes, but you can get rid of Nyx Assassin, you win the lane, you force him into the offlane position, you always have access, crowd control for you, you have the perfect bounce fitting it, and yeah, there's the Slark ban, because Dagger Nation does not want to pick it up against Axe Skywrath.
Yeah.
I know my ancient to divine pubs.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know, I would be very wary of picking the Slark into any sort of Hex. These days, ever since you can't purge it off anymore, it just makes it so easy to just pile on and burst them down after that bit of an initial lockdown. But Dagger Nation not taking a risk. I don't know.
I think they want to go towards like an early mid pickup here, or just draft a super obvious offlane, but that would put Nyx in the no longer flexible position. That's not the way you want to sit. Like, I think like if they go for the mid pick as well as their carry and just reserve the last pick for the offlane or position 4, I think that's a great idea here, because Axe is already showing off there. Like they know what they will be up against on the safe lane, so they can plan accordingly. But they don't have any info on the other lane, so might as well take the initiative and snack a hero way that fits very well.
Well, either way, I think they need to start thinking about what else the draft needs. I mean, right now, as I mentioned, you have a lot of lockdown, but you have a bit of magical burst damage as well. Same as physical burst if you want to counter Nyx ultimate in that sense. But even more teamfight control with lockdown and extra damage in all sorts of ways. So with that Elder Titan, that's setting up for a very big teamfight draft in general. Now all they really need is some solid right-click damage and ideally some push to actually threaten towers with that.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, some push is desperately needed. They already have like a really strong duo offlane. Nyx Assassin with Elder Titan together, that just you could say that storms the lane. Against Axe Skywrath, they have the Hex on the line already, so they have a good control spell. Pair this up with some damage or on a range carry that can deal damage to the Skywrath, and you will force the Axe to solo lane against this, or the Sky will just feed all over again. So I'm thinking Luna for Dagger Nation to fit quite well. It gives them teamfight, it gives them pushing, it gives them more damage in the mid game. It's a bit risky against the Axe, especially with so many open picks on Underdogs, but on the other hand, you did already ban out some hefty opposition with Slark out, with the Lifestealer out, 2 heroes that just immediately circumvent the Eclipse. So only Juggernaut really back in the pool.
I wouldn't hate the Luna here. As I said, it's a bit risky because just all that spam from Skyrim, but also the Axe with the Battle Hunger. Like, you're gonna need to start with some extra region to sustain through that without having a Warlock or whatever to offset that. But you're still going to find yourself in this very strong mid-game timing where you can combo up with the rest of your team to just basically group up and take down tower after tower. And that extra damage certainly gives you the ability to take down buildings as well as creep base very quickly.
5 seconds remaining.
Well, Underdogs, extra wave clear, extra control from the Shadow Shaman. Not sure whether they're not a little bit too much single target right now. I mean, right now they're still relying on the Axe to provide the strong initiation once he picks up the Blink Dagger.
I agree. There's not much they actually bring to the table when it comes to team fighting now. Like, yes, they have good lockdown with the Axe, they have some good pushing power with the Shadow Shaman, that is. But you need a hero that holds all of this together. Like, they could be working towards a Void, maybe, but doesn't have that much. Yeah, that's the Luna. Doesn't have that much synergy with the Shaman or the Axe, that is. So, Gyrocopter or Jug can work. I think since the Jug is not banned out, it's pretty much the only hero they can go for that has teamfight and the magic community off the bat.
Yeah. Yeah, I might be forced to go into that because, like, even if Axe initiates, or even if Shadow Shaman walks in out of smoke, or maybe he gets a Blink Dagger himself into a Hex, all of that is really geared towards a really quick pick-off. And if they catch heroes like Lion, Luna, who's a bit underfarmed, maybe that'll work. But the moment you don't, there's so much counter-initiation, right? Luna can turn around with the Eclipse, Elder Titan with the Stomp, Lion, if he's around, can get a nice little stun or a Hex off, Nyx Assassin, similar things. So the moment you mess up any sort of initiation attempt with these heroes that you have right now on Underdogs, that's the moment where you get turned around on it and lose your own heroes instead. So Juggernaut would give you that reliable damage output to make sure that you can actually finish off these kills reliably without being counter-initiated.
Yeah, either that or just some hero that immediately goes into a BKB. Gyrocopter would come to mind. We'll struggle a little bit against Elder Titan Nyx Assassin, but yeah, hey, wow, I'm on a roll.
Yeah, not too
pretty
bad.
good today. Gonna make up for the other days, eh?
Oh yeah. I mean, the days you were missing?
Which one?
All of the ones. But yeah,
you get a competent replacement.
Oh yeah.
10 seconds.
Should I be worried?
You should be worried. I mean, Ads
no,
like,
it's
5 seconds remaining.
rank 350 or something. In Europe.
True. But does he have dad jokes?
He does. He has anime jokes, which are even better.
Come on, we find some pretty sweet ones over the last days.
Team
You read that one, didn't you?
I did.
We're gonna keep that one for a special occasion. Let's agree on that. I'm gonna spoil that later if it happens. But yeah, Medusa ban out on the side of Dagger Nation. Don't want to run into too much late game. A little bit interesting. I could see Medusa as that mid game hero or mid to late game hero. They stick in the mid lane on Underdogs. So I'm pretty much a fan of that ban. But if it's not the Medusa, what are you sticking in mid? Both. And we pretty much have the classic draft on the side of Dagger Nation. Like, well, going from 5 to 1. Or something similar to this. This is lacking the mid lane. Not sure what it is. Viper ban.
I was going to say they could pick that up themselves right now, but beyond that, there's still a lot of the classic mid heroes up for grabs.
DK? It's a little heavy on the melee focus, but
yeah, I think you can't really get away with DK here. It fills too many of the same roles in the later game team. I think you need something like a Quark or Puck. Probably rather Quark or Stormsword for that matter. Which
I'm gonna say Death Prophet here.
I can see Death Prophet, yeah.
I think it fits more because you're naturally built into that Yield Scepter and it's so good against Elder Titan, against Luna. It just gives you so much invulnerability mid-fight, and once you have that exorcism, Aeon Disc is also another thing. Like, you will eventually get farm, and then you have like an answer to the Lion, to the Nyx, to the Luna. You just don't get killed easily.
Yeah. Whatever hero you pick up here, though, you cannot feel comfortable in this game with a Nyx Assassin and a Lion and an Elder Titan tied together with Luna. So that's a lineup that can fight very early before you can get these defensive items up and running. And Templar Assassin, with the last pick still open, it's quite risky, but in that light, that Viper ban makes a lot of sense.
Mid-Dogs here. Do it. They have the team fight. How sick would that be if they just go like mid-Dogs here, max vacuum, rush blink, and then have the super combo in the fight with Elder Titan, Lion, Nyx, so many point target stuns.
Yeah.
It would be sick.
I still like the classic hero here would be the Conquer now.
Ember maybe. Yeah, that's a DP.
Alright,
okay.
that also works.
That counts as half a point.
Yeah. Damage over time against the Templar Assassin. Extra push, always nice to have. And similar issues that the hero would have against Underdogs is just the nature of the first couple of picks on both teams. Like, there's plenty of lockdown that if you do get caught out, there's a pretty decent chance that you'll die, especially with the Templar Assassin. If she gets off to a good start, you're going to have that Desolator to blink up and running for that a crazy amount of physical bursts, and that is something that a Death Prophet might not be able to counteract, even if you have the Yules. Like, if you're hexed or if you're X-called, it's not really going to help you all that much. So it's going to be coming down to keeping the vision up and running and being the ones who basically take the initiative. So both teams going to have similar game plans going into this, I think.
Yeah, like looking at Dagger Nation, they have that strong mid-game timing. Like, they can use Death Prophet so efficiently in their death ball, you could say. But on the other side, the Underdogs, like, well, they have Axe. They can counter-initiate quite well. They're fine with this timing. It's going to be super even, and the teams are even as well, so... Still not sure who has the first one. I favor the non-TA lineup a little bit more.
Yeah, think they have a little bit of an easier time, and they scale better into later parts of the game. Just because TA, it's a hero that can just take over the game, but also a hero that can fall flat in its entirety. There's very little in between there. And up against the Death Prophet, up against this much control, like, you're not necessarily going to be able to rely on your refraction for defensive utility, so you will eventually need to go into something like a BKB. You could argue all the cores will need a BKB this game, even the Juggernaut might want to consider it in the face of all of these stuns.
So, loopholes coming out, lane shaping up. Going for the trial lane again. You have one dual lane set up, presumably with the Scouref and the Axe. Yeah, gonna have a hard time against Luna with one stun or two stuns attached with the other Titan. So Sky has to really watch out. The moment he's one step too far ahead, he just gets stunned down, and then he's pretty much dead because no armor.
Yeah. Curious to see what kind of build RC Assassin wants to go for on the other Titans. Sometimes you see the Spirit being maxed out, if you stack up creep cams together with the Natural Order even. Sometimes not even putting up a single point into the Storm, but yeah. Either way, like, you're gonna provide extra damage if you manage to use the Spirit wisely. And you also have that Lunar Blessing aura to work with on top of the line stuns. So yeah, as I said, it's a very dangerous lane, not just for a Scarab Mage, but even for the Axe, who doesn't have a whole lot of armor to work with early on. Only that one base plus a Stout Shield, that will not really help you all that much.
Yeah, I agree. This is going to be a very difficult lane on the offlane. On the other hand, you have dual lanes, so I feel like if they break out even out of the laning phase, they're still ahead, because it's a solo Nyx Assassin offlane against the Shadow Shaman Juggernaut, like one of the most classic combinations. The only thing that I can see the Nyx doing in this lane is if he gets the perfect Spike Carapace on the Shadow Shaman cast, and it's very easy to just bait that out on Shadow Shaman.
Yeah. I mean, I've run into that myself if I'm Shadow Shaman more often than I care to admit, but
so like every time?
If you're good enough, then you should be able to play around that. But yeah, beyond that, if you do get shackled into the spin, like especially once that's leveled up a little bit more, you're certainly dead, even with the Nyx Assassins. So as long as he's alone down here, he'll have to just play defensively and make sure that even if they go on him, he's far enough away from the creep wave that at the very least it's a choice that you have to make, where you forgo a couple of blasts here and there for the kill. And in this day and age, it's not always the best idea to actually do that.
Yeah, it's your game bug too. I'm looking at Nyx Assassin, and for some reason he has a permanent tango effect on him. That doesn't seem balanced.
I don't know what that's about.
It's this 3 mango stroke. The hero is ridiculous. 7 regen per second. Come on, not fair.
Well, they nerfed mangoes.
Still OP.
Only 0.5 per. So a lot of that is actually space region, which you could be complaining about instead.
That's what I thought. Yeah. But yeah, he's gonna. It's gonna be the hit or miss. Like if Nyx Assassin gets enough levels, he will be able to comfortably stay on lane. The moment he falls behind by 1 or more levels, though, the Blade Fury is kind of leveled up, then you have the problem that there's too much magic damage even for the Jug alone, because Jug doesn't care about just by Carapace. He can just run you down, and you're not the fastest hero either on Nyx Assassin. Well, to be quite frank, he's 1 movement speed behind the Juggernaut, that is. Yeah. That's going to be the difference maker.
It's going to be coming down to the boots timing, so if Juggernaut is smart, he'll pick up the Quelling Bait just to secure CS easier, and then go straight into the boots, same as Chopper's queued up right now. And then, yeah, if you can maintain a boost speed advantage as top lane. Oh, Vengeance slowed down by that Battle Hunger. Couldn't actually get in range for another stun. Wasn't cooldown anyway, but they're already working away at each other. It's only a matter of time until this one explodes, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, there's going to be a lot of action top. I don't expect much from bottom.
Interesting part though is still the Titan actually went for the stun first, which
worked quite
is
nicely.
Alright if you have the setup, but not so much if you don't, right?
I'd even call it
Actually,
great
doesn't
with
have
his
reason to
setup.
work. Like, he went for the boots of speed, so you'd figure, oh yeah, he'd be running around and clicking people, but he can't really do that without extra spirit bonus damage.
It's a bit sad because I think he's gonna max out the Echo Stomp. He wants it at least like level 2, level 3, so the Stomp like damage threshold has to increase, so they can comfortably stun over without waking up or like having a fast silence. But there's a Stomp there.
So he's at level 2 here, followed by the Hex, follow up with the Spectral Stomp from the Spirit, as well as still losing Beam. So that's where the first blood happens.
So Dark Moon is satisfied.
That's what the lane's almost over already. Oh, okay, there we go.
Nexus has in 1, Shadow Shaman 0. Yeah, I'm gonna keep track of that one, that's for sure.
Alright, middle lane, so far so good actually for the TA. I mean, even though your defensive refraction is not all that useful up against the Spirit Siphon, you can still use these extra damage charges to very easily secure not just Larson's but also the Nile. So it's good to see TA at 6 and 6. But,
yeah, she should have a pretty good lane here. Even if they had the last pick, it felt like the mid pick is a little bit underwhelming from the Underdogs. Bottom.
Bottom lane. The stomp, follow up stun there from Chopper, trying to right click away the Shadow Shaman. By purpose to keep Juggernaut away. Still spin to work with, and there it is, the Shackles on one, but Juggernaut's trying to run down Chopper. Not successful, doing a lot of damage, but not enough to actually finish him off. Oh, this is where the combo, well, if you don't use it on the same hero, it's not actually all that easy.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication issue there, but Chopper is not an easy target for Jug whatsoever.
Oh.
Did to resort to the dual lanes now. I like that a little bit more. It will give Underdogs a little bit more space, but they should be fine because Elder Titan together with Nyx Assassin, they can kill the Shadow Shaman, I would say. They got a little bit unlucky the last time because they were stuck in a little bit of a choke between the trees and they couldn't get on top of him, but in the long run they should be fine.
Same time on top, and Daiki has plenty of stick charges to work with, and now they can easily turn this around. Quite a bit of damage here with the Hexen to follow up stun. This is that's Skyroth, exactly what you were talking about earlier. I mean, Axe, he did the same thing, just walking all the way towards Daiki past the Creeper. If he's tanky enough to withstand a little bit of harassment, but Skyroth certainly not.
Yeah, and even Axe came close. This is just a matter of, like, you walk into the Lunar damage. Like, yes, it's only 14 damage, but then multiplied it by 2 heroes, that's 28 damage per hit you take extra. Lion being arranged, Luna being arranged against the Skyroth, who easily gets locked down, and a melee hero.
Oh, I think he've learned his lesson. We'll see if he gets caught out again. Certainly still liberally spamming out these spells.
I hate Skyroth. He's so frustrating.
Here we go again, Elder Titan saying hello, still powering out of vision, and well, Lion coming in from the side. It should be that Axe. I think we can combo this up properly here. Extra damage. The fall coming out here, but wouldn't really have done too much. Only now giving some extra bit of armor to work with, but won't really help up against the loosened beams. An extra big punch from RC Assassin, so
Staple down.
again.
Runes up and running. Nyx Assassin already securing them. Shit, someone will grab the other one at bottom. Or will he? Run, little Nyx.
And
I gets the hang. Smart play. Smart play. Was there in time. Spotted him with the courier. Poor Chopper.
2 for 2. 3 for 1 still.
Yeah.
Both in the top lane.
Almost the legendary quad rune.
Still makes such a big difference, even if you just get 1 extra.
Yeah,
At
it's
the
just
same time, take the gold away from the enemy.
yeah. Bounty runes are OP. You know what they should do? They should spawn them not every 5 minutes. They should spawn them at random minutes. like full minutes. Every there will still be 4 spawned within 5 minutes, but it's like randomized.
Oh, mid lane. Attempts being made. TTA already super low on health, so after they bump for refraction, got a secondary one available, so it should be easy kill. Pharaoh Fire for now, keeping her alive. The actual right click from Senjin. It's not actually enough, and rotations from both of the supports are gonna try and maybe make a play here. There's not a lot of mana on any one of these heroes, though. We'll just call it quits. And Region Rune actually up in the top.
They really bombarded this area with wards. I want to make sure they see the TA, but hey, TA is fine. Like, TA should have died there, right? Like,
Oh yeah, for sure.
There was no counter stun initiation, there was no big wand they had to walk around with. It was literally only the refraction, and they had a full spirit siphon up and running. So yeah, that's... Oh,
That was
that's
a fair
bottom.
fight too, just coming in big there.
Making a move on the jug.
Yeah, he spins. They missed a few stuns here though. There's another one available in a couple of seconds, but Dante, he's pretty damn fast on his feet with the face boots. So Chopper might not be able to line it up, but there's a Hex to make sure that he can follow up as well from Senjin. And oh, what they didn't get in mid, they certainly did get on the one position core in the bottom lane. Very nice kill. Downside is that Luna, well, being bullied out quite a bit. 32 CS on the Axe, 23 only on Daiki here. So on the
Yeah,
CS
in
map,
general,
all
the-
three of the cores, yeah, they're
Like,
quite bad.
I'm quite surprised about the Luna, because he had pretty much not a free lane, but he has like a high amount of experience over the jug, or at least like for the fact that they were the trial lane at the start, he has the advantage. They had some kills happening on the lane, 3 of that it is, and he had a free lane. So is this a matter of just not being able to last it properly, or? There's a soda kill bot. That's an Omni Slash. Gets punished for it though immediately.
Yeah. So this is a game plan that we don't really see all that often, which is basically rotate everyone around so you get kills rather than focusing on stabilizing the lanes. Like else they would have just committed for the trial lane and fought this dual lane time and time again. They would have easily been able to do that, but they wanted to try and create chaos in these other lanes and get advantages through kills. And the only problem with that game plan is that early kills don't really give you all that much in the grand scheme of things. I mean, we see the result of that. 1 and 5 is a kill score, but the slight gold advantage still goes the way of the Radiant because of their CS advantage. And,
Yeah, early kills don't give you gold. They give you a certain amount of power in the lane, more likely. Got a bunch of out here. Luna top, super low.
So at the end of the day, the point is like you have to keep the pace up if you want it to work. If they ever stop doing that, they'll find themselves in a disadvantage. And if you start dying yourself, then that's the same thing really.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit baffled. What happened to this Luna top? Like, there was no Sky trying to outlast it. The Axe wasn't even our presence, or at least he always got nuked down by the level 4 Lucent Beam. I'm trying to find out what happened with the
The moment you leave Luna alone, you can't fight against the Axe. You can Lucent Beam him, but it won't stop him from CSing. Won't keep him from running you down and keeping you away from the
Radiant
wave,
structures are
especially with the
fortified.
Skyrock there.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And there's some heroes that you can leave alone after a couple of levels, and they'll be absolutely fine. Luna's not one of them. So that's why we see her trying to make up for that, be running down Ralph, who's eating his way through the trees. Both him and Syndicate super low. The call for some extra armor will keep him safe. A Syndicate, oh no, last strike click, but not enough. He's committing for it.
Oh wow!
Even forced out. I'm not sure that was necessary. Securing the kill for Dante himself as he made that rotation. At the same time, his support trying to secure some runes will be brought down.
Yeah, a little bit of a questionable Omni Slash, but I think it's fine. I mean, just use it. It's a level 1 Omni Slash. Might as well use it to last it on creeps at this point. But, yeah. He's working towards that Yasha. He's gonna skip the battlefield build. I think that's the perfect decision to make here, considering he has other damage dealers already, or people that can really flash farm quite heavily with the TA. And they were just gonna farm heroes down the mid lane, and they want to secure towers early on. They didn't want to give Death Prophet the chance to even go up against T1 towers.
Well, that has yet to happen here. Exorcism was available for a while, but they haven't really been able to get on top of a tower just yet. They still
Dire's
won't
middle
just
tower
now
is under
because
attack.
All DP's out of mana, and they're not giving him the benefit of the time. But I might still be looking for a skill on the Banshee mid. He does have a trap now, slowing down the line, and as a result, can't quite reach the stun. But nice little stun there from RC Assassin into the Finger of Death.
Didn't have the prestige item, so that's only mediocre finger.
Well,
but yeah,
good job.
He did really good.
Again, without the X's, we can't actually pressure a tower, which they have it available, but they're not really sticking around to commit to it.
Top tower is under
Yeah, what will happen is if you use the exorcism with low mana already, and he doesn't have to sustain to go with the Spirit Siphon, he just eats a concussive shot to the face. He has he has the axe or something TPing in, and then your push is pretty much ended only some mild damage on the tower. He also skipped a bottle on the DP, which I'm not a big fan of, not against the TA where you have to contest those runes.
Well, still being able to snag this one away at the very least. Well, at some point they have to start pushing down towers. I mean, just
it's not gonna get
kills,
easier.
It's not gonna, it's not gonna be enough. There you go, they
attack.
do see Dante, they can get rid of the healing wards. No silence available just yet, Omnislash just tanked up completely. And there's the Hex, there's the follow-up stun from Nyx. Easy kill indeed, without the spin, not enough mana for it after the Omnislash at top lane.
Oh, the Eclipse.
Damn, that was an Eclipse going ham as I tried to finish off Daiki, I guess.
That was a level 4 Echo Storm with the Eclipse. Nice. Really well executed.
Right, we can't
yeah.
quite should tell us that story just yet, unfortunately. Yeah.
Get away. It's ready in 2 minutes, don't worry.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I think I missed it. But yeah, a little bit of a mistake by the Juggernaut bottom. I'm fairly sure he could have just ran away from the DP because there wasn't nobody near him. And then he ended up going for the Omnislash for the greedy kill and realized, well, I actually can't kill him.
Yep. Well, Heinz of 2020, Chopper. He might die here now to the spin, but he's a little bit more tanky than he used to be. Now the hack's coming out. Spin not lasting long enough. He will not be able to get the kill in return, one would think, but at the same time, Juggernaut will also not be able to stand in this lane or chase any further.
There's a spin to work with again, but I'm fairly sure, yeah, he's on the same movement speed as the line.
Exorcism here, so still get the kill somehow. After the fact here, but Syndicated with a nice little ultimate usage, making sure that DP couldn't actually walk away, had to face, can't caught between rock and a hard place. On one hand, oh wow, yeah, that's a freebie.
Bye!
On the one side, you have Temple Assassin right-clicking you. On the other side, you have the Mystic Flash you can't go through, so... Making the best out of a bad situation. Stun only on one, but the stomp on two. Chopper saved again. Now, so he can turn us around here with a mana burn next to a couple of punches.
Punched him good.
Man is pretty powerful.
I love the ET sound. It's just so cool if you start hitting people. It's like shock, shock. It feels so satisfying. Especially if you have a lot of damage. He punches the tears out of his enemies.
Pretty much. Now they're gonna get themselves 3 more runes. Unless... yeah, Juggernaut doesn't really want to contest this, so...
yeah,
once again, 3 runes going the way of the Dire.
And 3k gold advantage coming out of it. Make him move on the Jug, but yeah. It's a level 1 or level 2 Astral Spirit, so he can't do as much damage even with the big stack. Going to rotate the Nyx Assassin towards the bottom with the Vendetta. Wants the Courier, but can't quite get it.
It's about to expire, so he can't stick around for too long. But Dante looks like he knows what's going on anyway, so he's hiding under the tower. Same time, Axe and Scarab at it. Don't see anybody up top, so that'll see another indication. Should be able to finish off this tier 1. Unless... oh, never mind. RC Assassin actually making a rotation in. Meanwhile, there's a bit of a fight brewing in mid as a deception there from Lions, setting up for the skill on the Temple Assassin. This time with the extra nukes, the right clicks will be enough to secure the kill. Again, no towers.
Senjin has been playing extremely well on the line so far. He is 3-0 and 10, I believe, or 3-0 and 7. Yes, 3-0 and 7. So he participated in over 50% of the kills. Hasn't died a single time. He's working towards the Blink Dagger, and overall he was just in position every time. Like, he turned 3 fights so far, and really the star support here.
That's exactly what you want out of the line too. Just make use of this early game, the strength of the early game knockdown. A big zap from the Finger of Death. It's akin to what you want to do out of a Queen of Pain, but there's the blink as well from the axe. Shown up quite big here. The correct Knights of Splash damage. Yield Scepter still was delivered. So a little bit of extra time being bought. Follow-up stuns, the stomps, the Earth Split, and the zap just to make sure there's no axe here. Zap back on the Temple Assassin, but they're focused on the easy kills. Shadow Shaman is dead. Banshee though, he's still fighting. Trying to right-click down more as Dante looking to run down Ascension. Will be successful. Lose 2 more heroes. Banshee not quite done just yet. Chopper being spinned down. But mistakes were made. Maybe not.
No,
he's taken out to the zone, isn't he? Oh, that refraction coming back just in time.
Saved. Yeah, but that was really dangerous. Just half a second later, and he would have just eaten an impale to the face. He's well had mana down the road. So would have been a free kill, and would have been a big mistake. And yeah, this Luna is slowly gaining in farm and quite out-farming the Juggernaut by the out of this. I'm not sure if he wants to go for that Manta style on the Jug. I feel like he should be doing that against the Silence, but SNY would also be a really good choice against Luna.
Illusion.
Well, we'll see what he wants to do.
I'm a big fan of the Manta utility though.
Yeah.
I feel like active items are always better than a passive item.
If you wanted SNY, I would have already picked up some of the components, you'd think.
Yeah, I think he's a bit indecisive if he maybe wants to go for the Battle Fury. Like, in hindsight, it looks a little bit better now because I think he starts to realize he's slowly falling behind. So we gotta see what he really picks it up. Yeah. He has the money for it. Be it Manta or SNY or Battle Fury. I'm gonna keep an eye on it.
Ralph up top. Okay, yeah. Best
Later nerds
to be made here.
It is the Battle Fury on the Jug.
Okay.
We see that so much, actually, Yasha into Battle Fury, delaying the Battle Fury for so long. Like, I still think it's way better to pick up the Battle Fury flat and just start farming jungle and ignore your team. But hey, maybe that's just my pup mentality.
Yasha also helps the farm though. Just,
true, but
excellent speed to work with.
I think you get a pass on Juggernaut with it because you have to spin to farm stacks.
Either way, that opens up a timing window for the Luna who can already farm very efficiently without any sort of extra items. As, this time they don't quite burst down the DP, the Shaman wards here. So try and finish up the line here with the follow-up shackles. No one really interrupted until just now, so one more round. We'll finish up Senjin, another call, another dunk. This time it will be enough to get the kill on DP despite the exorcism, and now Banshee, he's just ready to go. Desolate up and running, follow slow, another blink, another call. They're just running into them right now with no idea of how to take these team fights.
And they still lost the time bottom.
Farming into the BKB has it available now, but that was still disastrous.
That was a big disaster, and they lost the entire bottom. No deny being coming out Luna a little bit late on the timing. This is now a TA with a lot of farm and the Desolator, so the moment you get that Blink Dagger, bot line streak is gonna end. Well, it did end anyways, but... I know, these supports are really squishy. Like, the only one that is actually safe is the Nixie Assassin because of the spike, and TA does not want to hit into that, even with refraction.
It's just a very weird way to take a team fight. I mean, DP died here next to the tower with Exorcism going. At the same time, the Shadow Shaman was just solo killing the line. Like, if they're just keeping a tighter formation, these fights would look different. So maybe it'll also look different with the Luna just being a part of it, just running in. Even without the Eclipse, like depending on whether the creeps are there or not. But certainly with a couple of Lucent Beams here and there, and a lot of damage from Moonglaves and the Maxed Out Lunar Blessing. And gonna look to make use of that. With the protection of the BKB, they find Dante. Ooh. And a couple of right clicks with the bottle blocks should be enough here to spin. Not enough to keep him safe. It's a really
good reaction on this spin. But yeah, this might just turn into like, not a death push, but this might just be a T2, even without the exorcism. There's so much pressure they can't keep up here. Alternatively, they could slightly push, push out the lanes, establish vision around the Roche pit, and then just use the exorcism for the Roche. However, you have to deal with all these TA traps around the map, and especially like this area is completely littered with those. There's even one behind the T2 tower, so they see any smoke attempts whatsoever. Like there's another defensive one here, right next to the ward. He's really using them to the vision advantage. You usually see TA quite a lot, like committing like maybe 2-3 on the map and keep the rest for like the active fighting area, but he's using purely as a vision tool here.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Tier 1 mid. The TA really surge ahead in terms of farm here. But that's later, Blink Dagger, another 1,000 gold to the bank. Some of these last remaining Tier 1 towers are mapped up. But again, that's still gonna come down to how they engage into each other. Still a slight advantage, not so slight here if you consider the net of the Luna. Already
Luna
almost 13k gold.
Luna is the shortcut coming back in this game. We haven't seen a big team fight with the Luna yet.
Yeah. Level 18 as well, that's the other thing. It's just crazy how much he's been farming. 234 last hits. A lot of ancient stacks, and I presume normal stacks as well, being a part of it.
Yeah. It's doing pretty good. They're all underwater, however, so this rotation is scouted out. They're wasting a little bit of time here, especially with the Juggernaut not even having the Battle Fury yet. He's so short of having it. 200 gold. Yeah, there he picks it up. I don't know, is the waiting game really beneficial for them? I don't think so.
I feel like Dire scales a little bit better into the later parts of the game. If the momentum doesn't start to pick up now for Jug and TA and Axe. All of these are very momentum-based heroes. And just passive farming mode, even with the Battle Fury, I cannot really see them coming away with the advantage from that. But maybe now with the smoke. Don't to blink on the Axe, you need to fight the right target and blink into the wrong side. Now they've scouted out. Actually, there's a silence here. Mystic Flare used up the defensive use for the other Titan. BKB used from Daiki. Trying to walk in with the exorcism here. We'll get a few beams off. That'll be the Shadow Shaman at the very least down, as they also isolate Ralph. He blinked in, but he could not blink out. Another loose beam to secure the kill, the shrine. Make sure that everyone's ready to go. But everyone else already disappeared. So this smoke rotation kind of backfiring quite tremendously there.
To the Rage Pit we go, and with the DD rune, that's gonna be a really fast Rage. And there's not much they can do about this on the other side of Underlord. Not at all. Like, you have an not under-farmed Sky, but this guy without mana, you have a Juggernaut who's getting Battle Fury and doesn't have any notable damage. Yeah, and they have a DD Luna in the pit. Good luck.
Constantly being bashed though, but still be enough.
Wow, he almost kept it. That would have been so cool if he actually gets that off.
I was waiting for that.
That would be infuriating so much. I hate that. I hate the sharp damage. Is it too strong? I feel like it is slightly too strong, but the hero balances it out, but the ability alone is extremely strong. Yeah. Even for an ultimate.
I mean, well, it's like an 8-second cooldown at this point. You can start stacking up a few of them in a line, and like... It's very powerful for sure, if you use it properly.
Yeah, I was about to ask, because I'm actually not quite sure. They fully stack, right, on the damage?
Not sure if they stack per se, but you can like chain them up for sure. Which is what you want to do anyway, just to keep the slow going.
I gotta find that out. Because I smell the new techies coming through.
Oh, they get the next assassin there. Trying to TP out in plain sight. Still poking and prodding back, and at the end of the day, it's only really the Luna who's just getting extremely big. So if they can kill her, and they certainly can, especially with the axe, it's gonna come down to him being able to blink call with that blade mail. If you end up killing that hero, all of a sudden you should be able to win every single team fight, because Death Prophet, as strong as that hero is, that's a decent amount of utility already, and she's going towards the Wavelands. Yeah, it's still not quite as powerful as she could be in the end, just down bottom. Do miss it, and is that actually gonna save
Run, him? You fool! Run!
It's making him faster than the ball.
No way. No, I think the ball is slightly faster. He has a stick.
Oh.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Easy.
Juggernaut died, but that was not nearly as exciting, I'm sure.
MVP smoke right there. That's the command. Where's the tip? Where's the tip? Come on. Unacceptable.
I think bought enough time for Tranquil Boots to kick in as well a little bit. Bad mistake. But yeah, anyway.
Also brought a
He
colleague.
survives, top lane, blink stun here. Great stance on Luna, but hey, there's the BKB. She don't care. Follow up stun. Right clicks there, and it's a very easy kill indeed. I want more though. In the side, another stun finds a Shadow Shaman. They are overcommitting a lot of ultimates. But, well, I guess whatever works, right?
Yeah, I'm going to try take a T2 tower off the map after. Creeps coming in. Same goes with the bottom. Axis isn't running. Is the sky? There's the Jug TPing in, but
you might just straight up die to this. Like, holy hell. That's the ATOS. That much over time. He's just perfectly happy. Oh, almost died to the Omnislash burst here, but well, in the end, only just. But at what cost? Top lane, look at this. Likely already working away at the tier 3. As a result of that, I was still quite a bit committed to the bottom lane. They'll get the tier 3. It's literally space created. Now the flames will start to bounce. Making the follow-up push that much easier as well.
Yeah, good luck approaching that, Luna.
She still has Aegis, so even if we kill her now, I mean, the Glaives will still kill off the full set of racks. Pops the BKB before the Aegis respawning here. That's how comfortable they are. And Dante, well, he's been slowed down by freaking Scotty. No way out of this one. Now the Eclipse on Ralph. No more Blade Mail available here. It's on cooldown, so they're very, very easily dispatching of the entire lineup. Banshee trying to clean up what she can. Now has to blink back under the cover of BKB and Refraction. As Daiki, not a care in the world. Aussie Assassin, he might die in a couple of seconds here. The slow, not actually connect on him. Well, at the very least, get this Aegis, but it was bound to expire anyway in about a minute. Banshee, he wants one Aussie Assassin already. Yeah, you already healed up, so instead they're trying to focus on the Luna. No BKB now for 30 seconds, but able to have, able to rely on lockdown from the rest of his team. There's the Yules into the stomp, and now all of a sudden, they missed his time.
Missed it, yeah.
Temple Assassin would have been in a lot of trouble if she didn't get the Nimbus out there. Or if she
it's not done yet. Yeah, a little bit too greedy. Can't really go. I think that excellently showed what they have to do. They have to get rid of the Death Prophet in the fight and I use the BKBs and man fight. Because Luna is not really good at dealing with TA whatsoever. Like, she's really good if you have other targets to bounce the glaives off, and there's already lots of glaives in place. But if TA isolates you in the fight and you have to end up man fighting her, Luna pretty much gets the worst out of this deal, with TA just being able to phase in and out of the meld, having the BKB available as well as the full refraction.
At the same time, at this point, you're not bursting down Luna anymore. You're sitting at 2.6k health points with 31 armor, or a little bit more actually. Yeah, 33 armor without the Mask of Madness. So even with the Desolator, even with the Melt Strike, it's still a lot of physical protection to burn through. So
true.
I don't think you can man fight per se if there's any bit of extra detection or just meld on cooldown or whatever.
I like what he's doing there on the TA. Like, he did decide to go for the Refraction Dispel. We saw that already on multiple occasions coming into effectiveness. Especially with the Spirit Vessel that the Nixis hasn't built up. So just dispelling that charge immediately is a nice little bonus, but you miss out on -4 armor.
They catch him. He was invis, but now he's dead. What? Oh, quick blink out away from that stun, and now Banshee's got a blink available for himself. Be able to kill the lion off very, very quickly. So this is the point we get the hell out of there. But no, they want to fight. Daiki ready to go with a BKB with Eclipse, but he's being hexed before he can get the BKB off. Lockdown, bursted. It's down to the Death Prophet. They get the Temple Assassin off to a good start. Now the End is keeping himself safe. That's a first splitter. Axis is doing a lot of damage here, but now focusing the extra armor. Still has to leave. He has Chopper and Sunjin actually able to clean up the backlines. Now the extra ATOS, Shaman already realizing that if there's anything that's happening here, maybe he can get an extra kill, but now we've blocked in the creeps. How'd they still win this fight after losing Luna?
I can tell you, they Underdogs did not abide to rule number 3, if you remember. Rule number 3: don't fight in exorcism.
His middle tower is under attack.
They took the full damage.
You almost get killed by the freaking trap.
Radiant's bottom
was able to
tower
dodge
is
it.
under attack.
Did you see the fight recap? I want to see how much damage he actually did on Get Good, because
I didn't see it.
that was a lot of damage with the exorcism in the fight. He completely killed off the axe, he completely killed off the TA, he completely killed off the Shadow Shaman and the Sky.
Radiant's bottom shrine
Just
is
4
under
kills
attack.
with the exorcism, that's for sure, and they all have pretty high health pool besides Sky.
It's pretty redonkulous, if you will.
I find out the traps don't stack, and now the techies inside me is not satisfied. That makes me sad.
You have to be
I would have
efficient
totally
enough.
spammed TA. Support TA. Offlane TA. No? Okay.
No.
Just play a... What about you pick techies and TA? Traps everywhere on the map.
The moment you say techies, I don't listen to you anymore. It just turns into white noise. I have actually no idea.
Pudge first pick. You triggered yet?
I am very triggered. Yes.
Jakiro getting hooked, minute 1. He's about to quit, I tell ya.
Radiant's top shrine is under attack.
I
But
can
yeah.
explain that to the Cobx people.
Dragnop can no longer cast as, yeah, too much PTSD from Pudge.
Just go ahead and tell them I can't work with this guy anymore. We need different co-casters.
Wow, rude.
Let's see who they decide. Should stick around.
1-on-1 mid, whoever wins stays. But yeah, game cooled down a little bit. Both sides farming again. Luna did die, but has the Satanic. No, approaching level 25 as well, and it's so crucial to have that. It's the life that just really breaks it. It's so good to have the extra 25. You also have to pass it from the Satanic, so 50% lifesteal is just an amazing amount to get on. Like, even though I really like the Eclipse mini stun, but it's just not as good if you don't have Aghanims.
If you do though, just imagine Aghanims refresher. It feels so good if you can make that work, but
it feels even better if you like look at the Luna talents and just swap them out. Like going for the cast range, going for the Lucent Beam cooldown, the Lucent Beam damage, which applies on the Eclipse, by the way. So that's 1/4 more damage, and the Eclipse mini stun. You just screw people over. I could see that work against the TA. If they had another core, I can totally see that work against Reflection.
I think that's the least of the.
Well, they don't really have another option beside the DP, so might as well use the Eclipse for it. We saw them struggling before removing those charges.
Death and gold are linked.
Blessings.
At this point, Reflection. Even if you do get level 25 plus 4 instances, it's nice, but in the middle of these team fights, there will be no problem when you do that. It will give you maybe 2 seconds or so, 2 or 3 seconds. But that's not going to be enough for you to kill anyone, but maybe the Lion and perhaps the Elder Titan. They should be in the backlands anyway and just coming in whenever there's reaction. And till then, this happens. You get initiated on, you just die anyway. That's the Blink Call with the the BKB with the Blade Mail, but still literally nothing. Just feeds himself away. Now there are 2 catapults, they have the Exorcism going, and this might very well be, I don't want to say game, even though without the axe.
Yeah.
Without
definitely.
Shadow Shaman coming back.
They don't even care about you 2 times.
The buybacks. Tips galore.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
They will secure the full middle as well as bottom side of racks.
Has fallen.
Perks of having a Luna.
Yeah, there's the GG.
Radiant's middle
A lot of these Indian teams here, they go for 1 more round. They just don't surrender until the Ancient's actually about to explode, but at least tap out a little bit earlier than that. Dagger Nation.
To be fair, it wasn't long.
Yeah, again, we like to draft a little bit better. And they tumbled around once or twice, but then they figured out, hey, if we just fight as a team, it's nothing they can actually do. And then they started bursting down people. Back of Luna is just way too farmed. Yeah. Is that about long and short of it, or do you have anything to add?
I think that's pretty much it. There was so much protection on Dagger Nation that it just get out of control. Like, the Axe Scarlet did not work, despite the fact that Luna not having good last hitting early on. Like, really struggling, but what did the Jug effectively do in this game? Like, Yasha into Battle Fury, and he never farmed with it. He just went into fighting mode. So I think if he skipped the Battle Fury completely, did go for the Manta instead of the SNY, or go with the SNY and just build like a Mask of Madness and just go full fighting. Lock somebody down with Axe, jump on, put your Omni Slash on, put the Skyriff on, and you dumpster the enemy fight. Like, if you have that in the call. But that never happened, and then you reached a point where there was a Yule Scepter on Elder Titan, there was a Blink Online who always disables you, there were 2 Aeon discs up whatsoever on both Chopper and the Death Prophet, and the Luna was unkillable, so you lost your timing completely.
Yeah. Well, we'll see whether the Underdogs can turn things around in game number 2, or whether Dagger Nation will turn this into a clean 2-0 victory here. Stay tuned.
10 seconds remaining.
Ladies and
5
gentlemen,
seconds
welcome
remaining.
back. I do apologize for the delay, but there have been a few unexpected issues at the venue, but now we're ready to go with game number 2 of this first semifinals of the day here. Dagger Nation versus Underdogs. Dagger Nation, if you want to remember here, they had a Luna that was extremely farmed. They ended up
Radiant
winning the
team
game,
pick.
just running them down, winning, basically throwing the net worth at them, at the Underdogs.
team
And
pick.
well, basically just some big team fights going high ground. And now we're going to look to try and do perhaps something similar in game number 2. This time the Warlock makes it through and picked up immediately here by Dagger Nation.
Oh no, a Warlock draft. That's gonna be so fun. But yeah, pretty big lead in the first game. Second game will do a little bit of a style change with the Warlock. A little bit more active on the map, I would say, or more cooldown focused. The last game for them was pretty much just, we're gonna farm a little bit, and then yeah, I guess we just run it the entire. If we have access to them or not, we don't care. Underdogs, they really have to think what they do about this early on. Like they have the double pick coming up. Wouldn't be too surprised to see a Beastmaster coming straight off the bat. Beside the Beastmaster, yeah, just pick your favorite duo lane. You have 2 picks to work with. There's pretty much nothing banned out beside the Undying maybe. Doom falling off a favor anyways. It's a smart ban though, beside the Warlock is there.
Well, there's a lot open here. Night Stalker, that's another one. Still Windrunner, and still Scarab Mage, Witch Doctor. Like,
I still feel like if you have the chance to go for Beastmaster first pick, you should go for it. He just feels so strong. Like his ability to solo kill almost any hero in the game if he gets some farm, the lane pressure he established, never being able to leave your carry alone against him, having the access as the modifier, he just looks super powerful right now.
This commentary is brought to you by the Beastmaster Foundation.
Wow, powered by Beastmaster.
Gonna be Night Stalker Disruptor, so it's a silence draft. And I can't say I hate that up against the Warlock, so looking further beyond the laning stage, like having a lot of control to make sure that you cannot be counter-initiated on by the Warlock Golem, either with just Night Stalker, flying at him, silencing him up for a couple of seconds, or Disruptor just catching him inside the kinetic field and static storm combination alongside a few other heroes, ideally. It's one of the better ways to deal with that in the long run, I think. Because Warlock is never really going to get a lot of farm to counteract that.
I feel like this is the perfect spot to pick up the Windranger. You're in the second pick. You already have made your position 5 very clear, so you have an open position 4 pick that can flex. Even though we mostly see you in the position 4. Can offlane if needed. It's a lifesteal. Stealer.
It's a bit less conventional. See that picked up without
That
by the
early.
first phase, yeah. Without any sort of combos already on the field, obviously.
Man, if they only had a Beastmaster against this raging Lifestealer, right?
Haha. They can still pick it up if they want to. Night Stalker can be the full
Yeah,
roll
he can
quite
flex.
easily, so. But yeah, I wonder if they thought this one through, because
5 seconds
Lifestealer,
remaining.
even if it's not the Beastmaster, he can be counted out simply by just picking up a Razor or something like that. So I'd
Yeah,
be
he
very
has so
surprised
many
if they didn't
counters.
ban this one out in particular. But yeah, even beyond that, I mean, even Night Stalker or Disruptor, if they come at him out of the fog or out of nighttime, silence him up before he can rage, then he's a sitting duck.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I'm not a fan of the Lifestealer whatsoever right now. There's also, if they want to run the Night Stalker dedicated on that offlane, Underdogs can go, hey, we go Bane. We go any hero with control spells. There's still a banning phase coming up, so they're gonna make sure there's like Spirit Breaker maybe out of the pool, Storm Spirit ban out. Like these kind of heroes, just limiting the Lifestealer. One pick I would like to see from Dagger Nation would be something going alongside of Slardar for the offlane. He isn't too affected by the Disruptor, he can turn a fight, and you have that good Night's Bomb, and he can punch through a Night Stalker
10
quite easily.
seconds remaining.
Yeah. There's still plenty of combos in the pool. I mean, Starter is one,
5
others would
seconds
be
remaining.
Legion Commander, Axe even, would work in a similar fashion. Then you start to think about the mid lane, and yeah, there's a Slaughter ban even.
Yeah, I think it's the right call. I think Starter is highly underrated right now as an offlaner. Especially in this dual lane meta, he is just so powerful because you have a really good stun. If you combo him up with like any armor removal with a Vengeful Spirit, for example, you have a really powerful dual lane. It doesn't have a lot of sustain, but you can always turn on supports, and it's a Lycan ban in response. That's reasonable with the Lifestealer on the field. What is the carry for Underdogs? Like, there's so many options. From Monkey King to Troll Warlord to Luna to pretty much anything. And Dagger Nation, they look so cornered.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, whatever they feel comfortable with.
10 seconds remaining.
That just combos up
5
well. That can make you sort of
seconds
Disruptor, just locking people down.
Yeah.
So,
And something that gets out of open wounds for free is needed. Like either somebody who builds into the Manta style, somebody who has magic immunity from the very get-go. Skybound out might be just the Faceless Void straight up.
Yeah.
Would be good.
Powerful indeed.
They have good bans for that as well. It's not known to when you punch your hole through the void. Like Scour of Silence out of the question, no Elder Titan to screw up in the Chronosphere. Now on the other side on Dagger Nation, Doom is out of the pool, so why not? There's also no Caudal for the Chrono. I would like the Faceless Void to just come out straight up.
5 seconds remaining.
Well, there's a little bit of time left to think about it. Yeah, there's really very little else to go on here. Yeah.
Alchemist.
Do you want to show your call pick here, or do you want to just go for the offlaner now? If Night Stalker doesn't end up in that position.
I think you pick something like a flex pick, like Sand King, Neeks Assassin, so you don't show it completely. You just show we have two melee offlane. Or you pick Underlord, because, Underlord. I'm not sure that was the pick, to be honest. That was the only. That was
God, so Lifestealer will not really have too much of an impact even later on, or at least will be mitigated quite heavily.
It forces them immediately into this dual lane scenario, though.
10 seconds
And
remaining.
Underlord with Night
There's
Stalker
nothing wrong
isn't the
with dual
best
lanes.
lane.
5 seconds remaining.
Oh, nothing wrong with them. I just feel like there's stronger dual lanes than Underlord plus Night Stalker, unless they want to put the Night Stalker in the safe lane and go to Disruptor off lane. But then he might struggle because Warlock can't just out-heal his harassment damage.
Yeah, I mean, if that's any two people you run up against Warlock Lifestealer, you can sustain through that. If it's just the 1v1, Lifestealer will be fine himself, or if he gets a couple of levels, he might just be fine without the Warlock altogether. Even up against Night Stalker and Underlord. Just depends on how many levels Night Stalker gets and what the nighttime timings are. how much health points Lifestealer can accumulate himself to be able to just tank through the silence as necessary.
I would like to see something like an Abaddon here.
It puts some more pressure on Underdogs to actually be able to brawl and stay in lane themselves, just to get experience, because that's the big linchpin for Underlord. If he gets experience early on, say for Night Stalker, really, for that matter. Like,
Yeah, I can see it work out. I'm just worried about it. It's. I feel like there were so many better choices they could win for.
It's not the type of offlane that really bullies the safe laner, but at the very least, that's what Lifesteal gives you anyway. It's a hero that's very hard to be zoned out, just because of this innate sustain, not to mention the Warlock on top of that. So I can understand why they would want to go full lane that is a bit of a wash, ideally. More of a more traditional offlane, where you the enemy carry gets decent enough farm, you don't really put too much pressure on him, but still get your levels. And then you look towards the later parts of the game where you have the Underlord kind of to put your team fight around, essentially. Or build your team fight around.
Alright, we have the Wind Ranger coming out. They have an answer to life, and they can pick off Warlock and Sun King easily enough, so still, this is a core wind, right? Like, I doubt we're gonna see a core Night Stalker. Just doesn't look good.
There's very little
it has to be.
The
they have a surprise for the last pick. That's what Dan's telling me. We're totally gonna mess up Underlord Underdogs. Just so everybody's warned. I'm gonna mess that up 100%.
You jinx yourself there, like.
It will happen. I just want to warn everybody because I'm gonna screw that up at least 2 times.
Well, at least you haven't said Dagger yet.
Oh god.
Pass you there.
Lina, that's a reasonable pick. That's a really good answer to Wind. One of the rare heroes that actually match up against her in mid. It still feels always like a coin flip though. Like if you fall behind, Wind just stomps you with the power shot.
Yeah, like Ads is really crazy about Windrunner and thinks it's OP, and he's calling the power shot a Laguna Blade on a low cooldown and with massive range.
I agree.
Point blank, it's pretty cool.
I absolutely agree. The fact that you can throw a shackle on level 1 without hitting a tree behind it, and you can 100% land the power shot is way too strong. It is 400 damage roughly that you dish out every 12 seconds or so with just the shackle as a setup. Even if you even need down, it's basically a punch hook every 12 seconds that is really hard to dodge and goes through creeps.
Can you please agree not to talk about Pudge if Pudge is not even in the game? It just tilts me so much.
Don't you get hooked on this topic again?
God damn it.
If you eat too much into it, it might dismember you and affect the quality of your cast. And I don't want you to rot away here.
5 seconds remaining.
So I might have to talk to a few people and rethink this whole co-casting thing if it's gonna go on like that.
What am I for you? Just a bunch of flesh heap? Alright, let's move to the draft before it gets absolutely nuts, because we have some bands coming out on the side of Dragon Nation. There's the Luna out. On the
Be happy you can't see me right now. Or that I can't see you, more like.
And on the side of Underdogs, it's the Tide Hunter band out. I like the Tide band. I think that's probably centered around the melee core that is coming out. I think Troll is still a valid option. Wouldn't make sense with the Tide band though. So Gyro last pick. What is it? Is this CK? This could be a CK draft. CK Juggernaut PL. I tend to favor the CK here. I think PL has too much AoE to deal with.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't think you can get. I think CK is too greedy.
5
You need something that can fight with the other Lord and Disruptor. He needs an extra damage dealer on top of the Windrunner.
Monkey King too greedy?
Monkey King would work, I think. PL somewhat, but there's plenty of counters.
Ooh, is this just where you go Ursa?
You could.
That would be a really, really good pick.
Nope, I had that in
Morph.
the back of my mind.
Yeah, the gyro made the decision flip to the morph. I think had just too much of an opportunity. Fatal bonds for a morphling.
So
Wow.
Underdogs, they have a decent mix of like good nukes for the mid game to fight around and be able to burst people down. Beyond that, like, they're going to rely on the Windrunner morphling actually getting a lot of farm to transition into these more later game damage dealers. If Dagger Nation is able to hold on, and like draw more or less even in the first and laning stage as well as into the mid game, which I certainly think they can. Like once again, they have a lot of good team fight, a lot of lockdown, decent amount of damage. The Warlock is just the Warlock, right? Golem wins
Just
almost every
the
team
Warlock.
fight.
Yeah.
I'd still have to favor them going into the late game. Unless there's some really serious morphing shenanigans where he has as much farm as Luna had in the last game.
Yeah, there's a Warlock. Warlock wins. Warlock wins games.
But hey,
Like I say, I'm still a
Morphling
big...
can turn into Warlock, so you fatal bonds on your own side. So countered, easy.
Don't think even that's the best target. Flag cannon might be the better one.
Depends. Depends on what stage of the game you're in.
Get Refresher, do both. Fatal Bonds and Gyrocopter Flag Cannon. That's the dream.
Oh yeah, that would be the dream. Can you like can you turn it to Warlock, pop Fatal Bonds, pop Refresher, Fatal Bonds again, and then use your ultimate again on somebody else? Or
I'm not quite sure if the morph actually updates if you use the Refresher while in the morph.
yeah.
It should, but I'm not 100% sure. But I think that might work. The double Fatal Bonds into Flag Cannon just wipe the entire
30
team.
seconds to battle.
It will never happen, but we can dream.
Trying to think about how it would be coded, but because if you refresh the morph, then it would kind of be a little bit awkward with like turning back and forth, which you're normally able to do.
Yeah.
But, yeah. In any case, we're gonna see
We need to
some
find that out.
standard 2v2 rune
The
swaps.
battle begins.
Unless they can put this on. I mean, there's a light circle, right? There's a follow burst strike. They're actually gonna secure this one up top too. So
Yoink.
3 for 1. Just what happens when one team has stuns and the other doesn't. So we do have a support Lena. Interesting 4 roll, but
Yeah, I was about to say, this is support what? Mid Gyro, bottom lane farming
normally
life.
see these kind of support heroes at least pick up an Orb of Venom. Because
Yeah.
especially in Lena, you have a lot of attack range to work with. You could really make really good use of that, but she opted for the Null Talisman. But I guess, well, that's okay, follow up stun. You do still right click for quite a bit, and Boyka might actually be the first blood right here, right now. Ah, not quite. RC Assassin, yeah, he's taking body blocks. That was pretty damn close, and even Syndicate, normally decently tanky hero early on. A lot of armor, a lot of health points, but only down to 300, and guess what? He has no regen whatsoever. Boyko only
Reaches.
3 tangos. I'm very light on that.
Yeah, region is overrated anyways, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally overrated. But yeah,
Well,
I agree. Like
so.
the Night Stalker should be fine just harassing out together with the Disruptor. Just as long as you don't get double stunned, you're fine. And Morphling can always like the moment he reaches level 2 on the Morphling, same goes with the Disruptor. You just have so many tools to run them down. I'm not a fan of this Lena support at all. I don't think it's going to work out well at all whatsoever. At this point, you gotta ask, why not Lion? I mean, Lion is pretty much the leaner for the support position.
Yeah, I mean, certainly have to see how much they can do with that later on. Because I want to say Lena scales much better if you get her on the farm, like out of a core, the same as out of a support role, just because of the extra attack speed that you get. So you don't just rely on your spells. You can also add a decent amount of right click later down the line. So in that sense, having more heroes that can scale helps you if the game goes late, and that's what the plan is with just based on having a lot of teamfight control, a lot of counter initiation to be able to win enough teamfights, even if they're put in the defensive. Then, yeah, why not?
Benchy, super low in the mid lane. There's no flag cannon to harass him out. Yeah. But hey, it's Wind Ranger. Very fun hero.
Very interesting to see Jacob to actually go for the rocket barrage levels in mid, because normally you can't really make really good use of that. Because of the short distances.
Yeah, they seem pretty useless actually. Like, what do? You last it on the tower, I guess, if you need it, but it's hardly an incentive to level it.
There's blood. Should be drawn by lifesteal down bottom. It's an Underlord level 2, so still somewhat susceptible, but on his own tower like that, it's very awkward.
Yeah, Feast is just a powerful tool against him. And the finishing power together with the Warlock, and it should be fine. Like, Shadow Word is actually quite a good spell against Underlord.
Yeah, again, top lane. Couple of right clicks. This time they're just a little bit strong up against Boyka, but the Assassin gonna die first, and Boyka is absolutely fine actually. Cause Finale already procced.
Yeah, no, pop.
No, pop, yeah.
But hey, he had a Tango running. That was really bad actually. They should have locked down one of those kills. They knew Lina was dead anyways.
Maybe with the Orb Venom, am I right?
Sentient Crystal's trying to snipe, but he's on level 2.
What is he doing? Oh, can they glimpse him back? Actually, they could. But RC says he wants to get that kill. Boyka. Not sure about that particular glimpse, but still gonna set up for another kill. That's just very questionable at the best.
That is a big question mark.
Yeah.
That wasn't even greed. I think that was just straight up a bad play. Talking about good plays in the mid. Hey look, it's me, your power shot.
Oh, plenty of creeps to soak up the rocket barrage. He should be alright. Yeah, another power shot, level 3 already. Wouldn't run above levels, it's absolutely disgusting. Almost more disgusting than the 4 position Windrunner.
The entire hero is absolutely disgusting. Like, I just don't see the reason to have to basically have a spell that gives you 100% evasion and a movement speed bonus, like from level 1 on, and it has a cooldown of 12 seconds. That's just not fair.
Yeah.
And it slows your enemy, and it lasts for 3 seconds. It's just... Windrun was fine when you had to use it. Oh, well, just Alina, nothing to see here.
Well, that's what happens when there's a trial lane against a single hero. Chopper walking his way up here. I mean, at this point, Lifesteal doesn't really need any help whatsoever. And
Yeah, he will get levels away to the Underlord, but he should be fine in the end. It's more about establishing this lane dominance, and with the face boots, he can walk up to him and just check over him. And he's also super fast in comparison to him.
There's not too much that Warlock adds in terms of kill potential at this point anymore, compared to what Lifesteal already has himself. So it's that he helps up top. The Fatal Bonds here, not exactly linked up to any other heroes though, unfortunately. Which would be ideal, but enough to keep Dante walking towards a shrine, I believe. Well, mid though. Look at this, Banshee's actually waiting in the wings as Night Stalker, tending to take over the lane, but that should be a very easy shackle if there was one, but instead, just running him down with that ultimate, with power shot to the face. That reaction's a bit too late. They're making it work in 2 out of 3 lanes. Even top lane Disruptor, I mean, he certainly likes having these extra levels, even with Morphling being zoned out for a little bit.
Yeah, like, all the lanes are doing pretty good. Like, Wind Ranger are doing fine.
Oh, are they? Glimpse? There we go.
Yeah. Yep, and totally dead. Not a fun lane for Lina, that's for sure.
Might get Syndicate in return, especially if they start right-clicking Morphling a little bit. Well, yeah, the pops from that cross finale were enough, but at what cost? Simpson. He's dead as well. They're just throwing a lot of resources in the top lane, but they're not really applying them correctly.
Yeah, it is a Morphling getting farm. Yeah. You know what wins games? A Morphling getting farm. Your mid lane isn't doing good either. Like, your Gyrocopter is sitting on 21 last hits, already way far behind in terms of levels and kills. Like, yeah, it's totally balanced, by the way.
it's yeah, I mean, it's just 450 damage.
It's like like, the only thing that doesn't make me rage about that hero is that at level 15, the other talent is better, so you don't see the power shot damage. Like, that's the only, like, or even then, it's just,
Radiant's middle tower
you either press one spell against tank heroes and run around them and there's nothing they can do, or you just press your W and you just harass everybody out of lane. For 120 mana, 450 damage that you can't miss.
Well, let's see, Assassin gets the stun off before the silence, but he's still dead. Chopper, not a whole lot he can do without mana. It's not slowing it down. That's not gonna work.
Just kill him, dude.
I almost feel like the pause kind of rattled them a little bit more because this is not the same. It doesn't feel like the same team.
No, this feels like a heavy misstep in terms of draft. And they have no, like, the only one keeping up right now is the Lifestealer, but if your Lifestealer is the way to win against the Morphling and the Wind Ranger, who are absurdly farmed already, then it's not going to work, especially with an armlet build.
Yeah.
Like, I just see him...
You can start looking for more farm to get the items that you need, and it will include probably an MKB. Maybe actually going straight for an Orchid's left Bloodthorn.
I would say Bloodthorn is a good choice, but I would go towards the Maelstrom in this game. It gives you farming opportunity, and you have something to pierce the evasion on the Wind Ranger.
Yeah.
It's also extra magic damage against Morph, so I think going for like a SNY Maelstrom build and then upgrade to an MKB as fast as you can, go full paper, and hope your stuns protect you with the Warlock. That might be the choice.
Yeah.
But Armored, I don't think is the way. I think Armored is going to be absolutely underwhelming. It only helps you toggling against the Wind Ranger.
Yeah, it seems really odd. There's plenty of damage over time from the Underlord coming in. Eventually, you'd imagine that that'd be an Urn from the Night Stalker. Feels a bit weird. But at the very least, at this point, Banshee's taking as much harassment from the homing missile. He's dishing out with the power shots.
Oh, that plus 0.5 second homing missile stun will surely come in handy, right? Oh, it's so bad. They nerfed Jaro into the grind so hard with that talent change. If at least the other talent was remotely good, but 11 rocket rush damage is like, yes, it's you effectively 50% more damage, but yeah, no. No thanks. Come on, 0.5 seconds on a stun.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That's just a clear indicator of like, please never pick this hero again.
Well, at the very least he can farm once he picks up some flag cannon levels, and right now wants to farm this hero with the ultimate not connecting though. Quick wind run also gives you movement speed, by the way, it's not just evasion. That's still only just Lifestealer who's
He's
been comfortably top in the growth chart, but we already talked about how that's not necessarily going to be too helpful, but that glimpse into nothing will... that's the difference though, there's plenty of help with this time of the bait. Chopper was level 6, Taylor wants with 3 targets, there's gonna be another burst strike in a second. For Syndicate, Disruptor already dead, and now they should be able to focus down the Night Stalker. If the Light Strike area hit, beyond that, double burst strike in return. He also got rid of the Fatal Bombs, that's interesting. Didn't realize it would work that way, but he wasn't offing string. Oh no. Double kill for Chopper, and that's
that was a mistake.
This is the way you'd expect these kind of skirmishes to go.
Yeah, the Warlock turning stuff.
Turn it around.
Level 7 on the Warlock. Now level 6 on the Lina as well, so they have some extra firepower against this Morph. Yes, this is actually how the Morph ultimate works. It is a dispel. It's a basic one, but that is enough for the Fatal Bonds.
Yep.
I think the big question is, you extended everything, and now your Lina is most likely dead.
This is just some very sloppy play.
Yeah, a little bit.
Sometimes. He'll be able to deny the tower though. Oh, never mind. Catapult too strong.
Bye, Ralph. He found the Sand King. There's an armed or a Lifestealer. That worked. Cool.
Seems good.
Seems good indeed. But yeah, top lane is still like the primary war zone, but this Wind Ranger hasn't really entered the field yet, and I like the item he's going for. He's skipping on the Maelstrom, he's going straight for the MKB. playing against the lifestealer, eventually finishing up like a solar crest. The extra damage just from that Soli is really good against the gyrocopter too. You didn't necessarily.
That statement.
Oh come on, you
going into the moment you started talking about it, he switched back to the Maelstrom.
He switched it twice from Maelstrom to MKB, yeah. And I was 100% sure he's gonna go with the MKB. And then I waited 2 minutes to make the statement, and then he fucked it up.
I was like wondering, hey, how long should I let you expand on the on why MKB is a superior choice and why he's smart about it before making you notice it?
Usually it isn't. In this game it would be. I'm not okay with this.
He's fighting though. Inside his dice storm comes to this path off, but Nuke's way too strong. They might still be able to get the Burning Runner in return, but Senjin himself is not enough, not powerful enough.
100% evasion. Very fun hero.
Chopper's there, throwing out some heals. Another golem available in 5 seconds. So that timing is a little bit on a better side from the side of the Underdogs. Knowing that there's not this big turnaround potential available.
Oh, this sentry top feels bad. They tried de-warning this damn top lane for so long. They finally find one, and then you have like this kind of sentry here. Annoying.
Yeah, it happens. Unless you actually look at the replay, you'll never know though, which is the good part. So at least they won't feel the pain.
Feeling the pain? They just smoked directly under the ward, I believe. Yep.
Either way, they also scanned out just to confirm.
And saw the courier. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure they know this is the no-go area now. Yeah, Lifestealer already getting some extra HP on the board, you could say.
Well, at the very least they can still smoking the tower. We'll wait for that to move out of the way. Same time though, this Morphling. That's a little bit of trouble if there was a way to initiate on him, but... Oh no. Oh, that would have been crazy if they found that out somehow.
This is one Wild Wing Ripper on a mission board. He wants Syndicate mid.
Yeah, he's alone. Walks closer to the tree line. He's ended up being dropped if he just tanks up that missile, but it's already on this tier 2. Not exactly where you want to dive. Look at some runes. Yeah, they're drawing the line now. So it's gonna be 2 for 2 across the board. And bottom is still not dead just yet. Chopper's hanging around.
Yeah, how ironic. How ironic. The Wind Ranger getting defeated by a tornado.
I don't get it.
Wind tornado.
Okay.
He channeled it up and he had to back off from the tower because of it. Hey, the good part is the Wild Wing Ripper can't get glimpsed, so... like, that was literally the play, but...
Speaking of glimpse, there's gonna be much of that here if the Disruptor is dead. I would have hoped to catch a little bit more, but, well, I just have to settle for the support.
Yeah, they're gonna have a pretty potent push here. And for some reason, this Lina has farm now. Ending up with 60 last hits after this laning phase, and I wonder how. I really don't know. It's somehow working. It shouldn't, but it worked.
With the Yules, you can very reliably set up for stuns. Can have some defensive utility to work with.
Yeah, that's the most important part. They need to make sure like they can dodge all the stuns. There's not much you can actually do with the Yules this game in per se. I think a BKB is still needed for the Gyrocopter 100%. He's going... Wait. No. Okay. I get confused by his items. Never mind. He's going Dragon Lance and then into Aghanims. I was like, is this some diffusal shenanigans? No, it's not. I get confused because there's 2 Battle of Elven Skin. He has a total of 3 of them anyways already. I'm like, yeah. But it's all good. He's going normal items. No more fancy stuff.
So it's gonna tank up, then Agon Scepter will also help your farm. It's an epicenter. Oh, right. Not sure what Night Stalker was thinking he would be able to accomplish there.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Even with that ultimate trying to fly away into nowhere in particular, so he gets stabbed down. Very questionable. I guess I figured that they'd be after the rotation on bottom that they would split up again. That was not to be. They did now here, sinking. Was that kill in particular? Just or that assist, you should say.
Dire's bottom tower
Getting closer and
is
closer to
under
Blink
attack.
Dagger too, and this is where things get a little bit more
Radiant's
interesting,
top tower
because
is under attack.
then you actually have a lifestealer target for him to infest into.
Yeah, getting debuilt done here in Chopper. He's... I know, like, Warlock is one of these heroes where you don't need any item, and you just basically wreck. Like, you have the Golem, of course, you have the Fatal Bonds, and he almost feels a little bit unfair to play against, I would say.
Haste.
Lifestealer. Already infested. Without the Blink Dagger on Sanking, but might be able to step the Syndicate again, and they will find it.
Tower is under attack.
Still no nighttime, so no way for him to see that happening. Or just get himself out after he did, so... Again, unfortunate timing there for Dire's side. This time though, they do at least secure the tier 1 tower that was brought low from earlier. Ralph, don't show yourself! 1 or 2 more kills will be all that Sen'jin needs to have a Blink Dagger right here, right now.
Yeah, Desolated on the Lifestealer. Still not an item I agree on. It's really good for killing Underlord, but it's really bad against a mid-ranger. Like, you don't have anything that pierces evasion still. You have a Morphling that will just run away from you. Well, even though he has only Lincoln's Deny, so wounds is not even an option. He's just gonna keep running away from you no matter what.
Yep.
And hey, look at that! MKB. Oh yeah.
God damn it.
You were saying? You have been fooled! I would love if I could tip. We should be able to tip people, right?
Well, why don't you write in chat and say that he's made a good decision? Sure,
No, that
there's
would be
nothing wrong with
unprofessional.
You finish that thought.
On the Underlord?
that's
Fast stuff, but oh, that's one reaction. Goodbye. Oh,
back.
What? Oh, yeah, there.
Shackle's still connecting though somehow. The Golem trying to turn us around, but Lifesteal is still dead. Now the Golem will be dead too. That's very interesting how that Shackle connected.
Gets the Golem
was
at the end.
what a deal. Golem cooldown, 2 heroes down.
I was very confused with the Sand King, and I'm pretty sure Lifestealer was very confused as well. Because he dodged out the Glimpse with the Infest, and then it ended up the Sand King being sent back, and they're like, oh, I'm bailing on that one. Yeah. And I can still ended up dead with both. So, what the items looking like? We have Desolator up. Well, still not even close to the Aghanims on the Gyrocopter yet, and looking at the network, it's not looking any better for him. We have both the Windranger and the Morph on top. MKB finished up on the Windranger as well as on the Morph. There's a full Lincoln Sphere up and running, and he's well on the way to the Eagle Song. 1,000 gold away, and he's there.
This is basically what they needed though, on the side of the Underdogs. Just make sure that your Windrunner as well as your Morphling having a really good time. Right now, they're on the path to success. If they can keep the momentum going, keep these item timings rolling, and basically fight, especially now when there's no Golem. They know that that's been mucked up, and the Smoke and Smoke action. They have the high ground advantage. Blink out on one, but Lena will drop.
Goodbye.
It also opens up the bottom towers, so nice timing on this. Timing it together with the catapult wave as it reaches the tier 2 tower. This is really solid gameplay here from the Underdogs.
Yeah, like they're making sure they have the pressure on the map. They don't want to give anything to Gyrocopter. Like, you see Gyro already struggling in the mid lane over here. Like, he can't even finish off this tower probably because there's a TP coming in, there's a full smoke rotation or normal rotation coming in from the Night Stalker. They have complete control over the jungle because everything up here is warded. Yeah. Just the silence.
First strike, but Shackle connects. Oh, silence on a Lifestealer though. There's also a Gyrocopter, and that might be a little bit too much. Ooh, from Lena here, dodging the rocket, the homing missile actually. Good mistake from somebody. Guess they just call it quits. Don't want to fight anymore. Ralph will please take the Windrunner with them. Like, still being slowed down just a little bit with only missile. That should be a death. Unless there's some mass reactions again, but 2 more hits from Dagger. We'll finish up that.
Gets finished off.
So, it was just a little bit too much to chew. As,
a little bit too sloppy.
That's an illusion, my friends.
But they got it.
At least they didn't Laguna Blade it.
3... Yeah, I guess. They committed everything else. Like, it could have been a Warlock Golem, right? That would be so sad.
Also got the tower, and will not be caught out. Was the assassin, in fact. A little bit bold here, just walking back in again for some nukes. But someone else has to defend bottom. There we go. Lifestealer can pick up that juicy farm. Even though I'd like to... would like to give it to Gyrocopter, but he has his own lane up top right now. Closing in on that Agnum Scepter, but that alone will not save them the game. He still needs more time beyond that.
Yeah, they must make sure that they somehow buy themselves time, but I don't see that work. I don't see it work against this Wind Ranger, especially not with going for the Agnums. That means he will always find kills on the map. And the most important tower will fall as well, so the last tower advantage they had on the side of the Radiant will be completely disappeared by then. Gets to deny, not bad, I give you that. That was pretty well done, beside the Wind Ranger hit. But immediately into the smoke, and this time there's no wall to, like, foreshadowing it. They're gonna have the exact same smoke rotation, and if they find, like, the Sand King or the Lina, that's a perfect pick-off, because that allows them to run at a T2.
Yeah.
But...
to the left they'd have that high ground advantage as well, but...
Oh, they see the sentry. They see the sentry. Yeah, they saw the sentry going down with the normal ward. Which is out of range, of course.
Now they're walking in, Senjin. Oh, can't quite get the stun off though. Syndicate able to walk away. The Golem not exactly in the best position here. Stagstorm though certainly is. Get rid of the Sanking. Reaction time just not there. There's a glimpse back on one. They did end up finishing off the Night Stalker, and now follow up Yule's. Ralph should end up dropping too.
Banshee will get out with his life. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost track, but... Again, pretty disastrous fight, and like even if looking to fight pickup, it's not looking good at all. Yeah. Like they just had such a good rotation early on, and now it's like all shattered into dust, and like they're doing decent initiations again. Like the moment they knew, oh, we got spotted in our smoke gang, is the moment we just turn around and go farm. But they kept going, and I heard a knee blade, I heard a dead Jaro. That's a good way to make some money.
Windrunner not dying there, Morphling also able to get out, so all was not alright. It could have been much worse, seeing how Sancting was kind of sleeping a little bit. Not getting any spell out, sitting inside that Static Storm. But now it's just a defensive smoke by the looks of it from the Radiant.
Defensive smoke, how often can you say that?
Yeah.
Oh, they want to make it work.
An aggressive one, and they haven't been scouted out, I believe.
They see the courier, or I believe they saw the courier over here. Nope, just was out of vision. How's the scan going down? It's formal smoke. But yeah, very wise by Underdogs to just stay at the tower.
Yeah.
I said stay at your tower, Ralph. Thank you.
This game turning out to be a little bit more back and forth than Underdogs maybe wanted to be.
I mean, the last one was pretty back and forth as well. Like
yeah.
the glaze back and forth, worked all the time. Don't know what you're talking about.
Well, no comment. Maybe you should listen to me then, if you want to know what I'm talking about. Because the difference is, last game was the Luna, who just eventually secured the win with a lot of net worth, and this game is the Morphling on the other team. So that should be that is the thing that Dagger Nation have to play around. Because Lifestealer certainly doesn't do himself any favors just sitting inside the Sanking for a minute or two. Gyrocopter is still not quite there with the Agnum Scepter, so he's not really farming all that quickly. But so the question begs the question, how can they deal with the Morphling when he gets super farmed?
Yeah, he will be fairly tanky on the Gyrocopter, but that doesn't matter if you don't have damage. If you don't have damage to bring down the morph, and I don't see them working towards any silence. I don't think there's anything on the Lina coming in here. Going for the Aeon Disc next after the Shadow Blade. There's Manta Style coming out for Lifestealer because he needs it against the silence and everything. As you said, like this, what is your effective answer to a Morphling? Because this Morphling is already going into Lincoln Sphere, or has it and completed in fact, and the next step for him is the full BKB.
Yeah.
At that point, you just don't do anything. He already has a massive amount of damage. He can kill 2, if not 3 of your heroes already. That will change a little bit with the Aeon Disc, but it's not going to get easier in any way.
The only way to kill him is if you scout him out with a Lina Shadowblade. You'll still pop the Lincolns, then immediately have the tanking Blink Burrow Strike. And the moment he starts morphing strength, you basically have lost, and you can't finish the kill anymore. At least not in plenty of time. Or at least not before the rest of Underdogs are able to react and come to help their friend out.
That's a DD morph with full agility and hits for 500. Ouch.
Also have a Medallion of Courage.
Well, what's that courageous here?
But the raid inside. Flipping up around the pit here. Ralph and Silicon on the outside. They have a nice little ultimate coming through. Roshan's almost there, but not quite. The Golem is being dropped. They can't quite make their way inside the pit though. Dante will be able to snatch the Aegis of Mortal. Last does go towards the Radiant, but also sitting inside the Snake Storm. Not enough to bring anybody down. The Epicenter kind of a little bit waste inside. The Syndicate still deals with Senjet. But the Golem still racking away. RC Assassin trying to be crazy. They did pop that. Oh, nice Fatal Bonds. Yes, they finish up. Yet another hero, Dante, in the front. Not sure about this one here. He's still doing some damage to your Disruptor friend, and there's plenty of control. Make it hard for him to finish up that kill on the Gyrocopter. He doesn't even get it. And he not only got himself killed, but also...
Stop hitting me, Dante Senpai!
Oh my
this
god.
poor Disruptor died over here. He had full health, and it was only the Fatal Bonds.
That is...
Oh, that hurts. That physically hurts as a support player. I mean... Ouch.
Everyone on stream can look at the replay right now. See how all of this transpired. I mean, everyone barely surviving on the Radiant. Fatal Bonds coming in big, and they were just a little bit more coherent. Like, they were fighting together, whereas the Dire, they kind of ran around like headless chicken. Then the Morphling going in this aggressively. Just not exactly the position they could do that. Nice little shackle though. They should be able to find the Sanking. He also has a presence inside of him. But
2 for 1!
Look at this in the backline! Windturner being countered! Banshee will drop Daiki, armor toggling through! Somehow inside the Static Storm. There's another ult. Another Light Strike array. Couple of right clicks, extra nukes. Should be enough to finish up the Destructor despite the roots. Oh my god, he survived with 28 L points. Another LSA. Lina continuing to fight, but lifestealer will end up being brought down. RC Assassin finds one, another stun, another kill.
Yes. Okay, excellent. That was the perfect reaction, Ralph. I would have said the same. Okay.
What is going on, Palm?
Raid boss Lina support. Excuse me. Wow. Gotta look at the fight recap. That is actually
Nightstalk and Morphling, I guess.
Yeah, it's still favoring them quite heavily, but Lina kind of made them really work hard for that kill. Like, he did 4,500 damage. He did more than the entire team on almost more the entire team combined from Underdogs. Like, he made him work for that kill, and he still got 2.
What a game 2 we have at our hands here. Morphling super fun, but his team not exactly ahead in terms of number, just barely. After all of that, Underdogs have lost the entire gold lead. And well, Gyrocopter, he has that Aegis. He can start farming, going towards a BKB, and then into damage items that scales so well. He already has the value lifesteal, so even if he gets locked down, has a little bit of extra health coming into him.
A big item as well finished up on the Warlock. The full items to be delivered any second. There we go.
That is pretty big.
It is one of pretty much the best items, but Lina at the bottom. Oh, plot twist! Balance in all things!
Well,
the ginger fight.
1-on-1 can turn just like that as middle lane after detection extension. A bit greedy there.
Yeah, he had that Invis rune. I think he wanted to use it, but hey, surprise. That opens up the T2 tower.
Sitting there in Sandstorm. Like...
Yeah, it's like double effective, right? You can't get caught, right? Because you're Invis. Nobody buys detection.
Visibility with invincibility, am I right?
It's like, isn't that the joke with haste rune? Like, if you're hasted, you can't get killed, right?
Yeah.
Because you're so fast, and then there's like one stun and you're screwed, or an Invoker Tornado, and like, oh shit. Right, opens up the high ground for them, and now's a Crimson Guard.
2 years down, couple of seconds, all they need to do is a sizable amount of damage here. I think it's fair, but that opens up the Fatal Bonds. And gotta be a bit careful, especially between the two tankiest heroes. So a lot of damage you can share between them. Yeah. We'll survive and back off as soon as Sanky comes back, wisely so. Still a very strong teamfight that they have, especially with that axe now, the Warlock. Not sure if they scouted it out yet, but they'll find out sooner or later.
I'm fairly sure the Warlock is the only reason that they haven't pushed high ground yet of taking a axe. Because I feel like if they want to, with Ralph and the Morphling especially with how farmed this Morphling is, they can freely run on that high ground whenever they wish. Like, Skadi is about to be up, he has full travels now, BKB up and running. While he has a pretty low base pool HP, he will always be able to morph with BKB and Linkage. Like, they can't catch him off guard unless they perfectly disable it and stun him instantly with the Lina Yules. But that is really hard to do. DD rune. He just hits for 570. It's not much. It has some damage.
Literally nothing.
Like he keeps it morphed on agility. Like some glow. I like it. Remember when you had to spend mana to morph? I remember.
It's a long time ago.
Remember when you could just morph into Chrono because screw you, Void? God, morph was broken.
There we go.
Well, DD equals invincibility, am I right?
That was pretty well played, I'm not gonna lie. Just zap down like this and get a half-health delta point, there's not enough of it this person. Gonna look to try and turn this into more. Ralph on the side, but Banshee working up against the Dagger with the focus fire, doing a lot of damage, but now it's ended and the right clicks out there in turn. They're just swiping through them one by one. Oh no, still taking a fight after. Your one hero that's super farmed is taken out of the picture. Yeah, the balance of power shifts. 90k net worth off the map, you're gonna feel that in a team fight.
Yeah, that really hurt. That was your morph gone and a horrible engagement afterwards. Oh wait, down the mid lane we go, I guess. Time to get our own T2 done. And they really need the tower gold. They just got a 4k lead with this. They still have some golems, but also back to protection to work with.
For a few seconds, this tower will most certainly fall. Especially once the Lifestealer gets in with the Desolator. So, Lifestealer not normally a tower hitter unless he goes for this exact build. Going into the Soul Cuirass next, and they still have a few more seconds to work with. At this point, I mean, even if they knew Morphling had buyback, they know that he certainly doesn't want buyback with only 10-15 seconds on the clock, so they'll be able to get rid of that tier 3 tower and walk away. Back though, Glimpse back though.
Well, it's Lifestealer
though, like they need the Morphling in front lines. The rest of this team though, linked up together, and Lifestealer is pretty damn tanky. Brought down almost fully, but now the BKB turns into Lifestealer, particularly Enrage. As the Gyrocopter has to take out the front lines. Lifestealer infested inside of him with not a lot of health points, and we'll get not one, but both of them as Banshee comes in from the other side. Not done yet though, RC Assassin, well, with the Fatal Bond still going.
Literal assassin.
Of the round. Now trying to walk away with the Shadow Blade.
Watch out for the sentry.
Quite fast enough to actually catch up.
Not quite. So, almost the aftermath of this. They lost both their calls, so I imagine they lost this. Did you see it? There it is.
Look at the objective. Roshan is back, so if they can get that, they'll still be alright.
But they got forced back already with the morph to the T3 on the bottom lane, so it's gonna be delayed. Oh, Chopper, you're playing a dangerous game here. There's a ward.
By the time that Gyro and Lifesteal are back up, they can move towards the Roche pit, and by that time they'll also have the Golem ready to go.
True, and they need to. They like something like that with the morph can't happen. I still feel like it's a little bit greedy, completely, yeah, completely staying on full agility against the Lina. I think he realized that too. Once he has a Skadi, it's fine, but it's still quite a mile before he reaches that. Yeah. He still needs some good amount of money, and Rush would help with that, definitely.
Yeah. It's a little bit of extra strength morph now, so 1400 health points rather than the 1000 it was on before. But oh, DD Rune once again, Banshee picking at them with the bottle. With the Aghanim Scepter, I mean, you don't have any damage reduction anymore, so it's gonna hurt quite a bit. 300 a pop, plus these extra Monkey King Mob procs. Yeah,
it's crazy. Like, he even completely skipped all the Maelstrom, but it's something to watch out for, because you pretty much get a proc on all of the hits. The Monkey King gives you 75%.
Yeah.
In the focus fire, that's nothing. Like, you get a proc on every hit. End of story.
Well, it would be true if it was 17%, but it's 75%, so only one hit every second time.
Very funny.
Some Valve map works. Polka, well, he's dead. There's still more fighters here. Yule's on the Windrunner. Let's get the BKB off, but they didn't even commit for this sort of follow LSAs. And I still Golem there. Everyone, they're all fatal bonded together. They're also protected by the Crimson Guard. They get the Lina, but now there it is. Get good coming into play. Starts wrecking away, but the Flacken and turns things around. Only still hitting on one. The rest of his team behind the Morphling dies, but so does the Starcopter. There it is, Burst Strike only on one, but the Epicenter is still doing its part. The extra Golem, as the Warlock dies, will finally turn the tide of this fight. They did play a lot more than they used to, but they might still be able to finish up the Morphling.
Oh, he has some morph available. Morph!
He can start to morph with the waveform up to the high ground. Turns into the Gyrocopter for a few more seconds. Enough health points to get himself out. Maybe!
Lincoln's!
Oof.
Sweaty palms. But yeah, that was pretty even night fight, and actually came out ahead on the side of Underdogs with 1000 gold here. Lots of BKB shot, and they got rid of the Warlock Golem, not to forget.
Yeah.
Like, that's down for the count for 2 minutes. But they might give the Rage away if they're greedy enough. There's no vision established yet. It was a really good smoke gang from the other side.
At the end of the day, it was still Morphling getting a lot of that gold, which is good, but it can also be bad. What?
That's 200 damage you never get back on your tower.
But I mean, Morphling's always gonna have the same issue. Like, if he does get caught out at low health, like he's sitting below 1000 again. He has the Skadi on the way, I guess, so it's gonna get a little bit better. But if he gets zapped, all of that net worth is down the drain, and the rest of his team is just not powerful enough to fight without him.
Every coin helps.
Yeah, he basically Morph is the only thing that keeps him in the game. He's 25, like he's not gonna grow anymore now. Like, he can swap out the Arcula for like 1 damage item, which most likely will be the MKB at one point. There's also an AC in the works. Gyrocopter, I believe, is going towards the Satanic. So no Butterfly just yet, but I can only think, like, what are you doing on the Morph? What is your effective tool to get your team enabled in these team fights? Like, Wind can easily kill 1 or 2 supports, but you have to bring down those big targets. And Gyrocopter is the main problem. You can always kite around the Lifestealer. That's not the biggest issue.
I think just kill the Warlock before Fatal Bonds or Golems come out. I think that's the key issue here. Without the Golem counter initiation, it would have wiped that last fight for sure. Even with the Disruptor going down first. Like, you can't burst Lina because of the EM disc. Sanking would be, the second choice. And yeah, at this point, Gyro feels like he's a little bit too tanky. Same for the Lifestealer, because of that Lifesteal as well, that both of them have at this point.
Yeah. And Satanic will just make it worse. The moment he gets the Satanic, it's the moment where Gyro becomes unreachable to kill us the first hero in the fight.
Yeah.
What's your next item, Wolf? He's going for the Butterfly. Well, that's a little bit questionable, considering there's already 1 MKB up in running.
Alright, dead. Oh! Can burst strike through the root, but the Eagle Scepter's still there. Trying to set it up, but they realize it's too late. Moment of Nice burst strike play, actually. Windrunner, super low health for now. Evasion keeps us safe. Gyrocopter in the front lines here. Golem actually being the stun being dodged from Dante. We need to start morphing with strength here. Golem hitting quite a bit, but now BKB ended on Gyrocopter. He's actually dead first. Thanks to the Sanking here, they can't quite get the damage on target. So trying to focus on morphing without having the initiative. They're dropping one by one. Daiki is next, goes back, no more rage. Gets out of kinetic field, but stunned up, double kill. It's the homing missile from the gyro. She finishes him off, and this is an absolute disaster. Gonna get rid of all these golems too. It's an extra 300 gold. Eventually.
Taking a lot of damage, but yeah.
Oh, it's gonna take them forever because the golem's freaking tanky, but still.
And I was on level 24 on the Warlock. Just a matter of 25, and it's getting even worse. But yeah, this is a free rage. They also just burned the buyback on the gyrocopter. I'm gonna get that up. So yeah, you don't have a buyback on the gyrocopter. Who do you have buyback on? You have one on the lifestealer. You have one on Warlock and Sun King. So it's not like they're completely without buyback. So the next fight will not end the game. But yeah, smoke. I hate it when my teammates do that. They do it all the time. It's so annoying. Like, why? Please. You're like AFK mode, I'm gonna hit Roche, and then, I don't know, you're doing something else in your mind. I'm like, say, what happened? Why is Roche running out of the pit now? All the time.
Well, things are turning dire, if you will.
Stop it.
Warlock coming back, 70 seconds on Golem as well. Like, now, in a fight like this, Morphling should have all the time in the world to make sure that he can start morphing at the right time, can get the BKB off, and even if he doesn't, with the Aegis Immortal...
Yeah, you can screw up at least 2 times.
It's gonna be very hard for them to defend this Fly Guard push now.
Fatal bombs on 2 heroes only.
I'll be back in a couple of seconds.
I'll be back. Yeah, this mob is full raid boss mode now. He has this Crimson Guard behind him, there's a pipe, there's 4 stuff to save him, you have the pit always down for the count. Oh, he just lost the Enders Gondolina.
That's not a deal. Walking away, just try and chase him and get good. He's engaging into the fight, and that's what stuns. But where's the damage? RT Assassin has to come in and brings more flow, but not low enough. Now the BKB starts to right click away. The nukes are there. The BKB from Gyrocopter ends.
That's a dieback.
That's Static Storm. That's the Golem. Turning things around, but it's too late. You've already lost 3 of the heroes.
And no buyback on the Gyro, because he wasted it earlier. He does a lot of damage with those golems, but
the epicenter Fiddlebot's still going. Damage is there, she's being eaten. Alpha's still tanky, Dante still has the Aegis though, and with all of these shots fired, I think this might be it. Lifestealer is still trying. So is Senjin here, but the hell, yeah, he was raged. I was like, what the hell? Why is he not get stunned?
Yeah, it's also really hard to see the rage. Not the easiest spot,
focus
but
fire, Daiki. Be very careful. 60 seconds still on Quark and Gyrocopter, like, even longer on the golems. All these skirmishes took them a while to actually get the racks, but I mean, at this point you can just yeah, stay at max agility, respawn if you need to on the Morphling. They do have sort of like a few health point, extra heals to work with.
Well,
max
stop
agility,
killing
you
your
can
team.
certainly have enough damage to kill these buildings. On the BKB charges, how long this fight wins. Static Storm also locking down the Sand King as they do focus on other targets first. Just going to bring them down one by one. Lifesteal down for count, 112 seconds without buyback. Woodrunner almost dying, but almost doesn't really get you anything in Dota. And well, the writing's on the wall for this one.
7k.
Still down as he turns into Lifestealer for a second. What a player here, Dante, coming in big on his Morphling in this game.
Still can't kill the Golem, but that's one technique on him.
Well, where the other GG will have to be called, and
Radiant's middle
This
tower
game, as a result, will go into a third series, or the series will go into a third game, I should say.
The third series? Wow.
Radiant's
The good old best of 15. GA comes out.
bottom barracks.
Yeah.
I don't know, this game was a little bit weird for a number of different reasons.
I feel like Underdogs should not, like... I felt like they should not have won this at the in the first 2 minutes, and then I saw like, oh, I guess we do Lina off lane now, and I'm like, yeah, they win this,
Yeah,
and then they kind of screwed up their laning phase, and then they come back again. So it's like the quadruple comeback, you could say, but in the end, Morph just prevailed.
Yeah, I'm not saying Dante wouldn't have been able to get that kind of net worth even without that landing stage, but it certainly didn't hurt. Like the way they kind of ran in one by one, giving him that kickstart, if you will, and then never really been able to slow him down for good. While at the same time, you have a Lifestealer who was suboptimal in this game, who was the only one who was doing well, and Gyrocopter just too far behind with his own items. And all of that put together meant that Dagger Nation could really had to play every team fight perfectly, but the one time they didn't, just opened up the door wide for Underdogs. And as a result, we're sitting at the 1-1 scoreline, which means we'll be back with game number 3 soon. Stay tuned.
Radiant team pick. Dire team pick.
And we are back. Time for game number 3, but a familiar hero, the Warlock. This time on the side of the
Dire
Underdogs,
team
though.
pick.
So we'll see whether it brings some more luck than for Dagger Nation, who just immediately go into the Axe Skyrath. So we went from some very weird drafts, or draft openings in the last game with the Lifesteal first phase, into something a lot more traditional. And that's certainly something that is going to be helpful. Dagger Nation, they have had some interesting ideas, and not just them with the draft, but also in the way they handle the lanes. And they need something more solid if they want to punch the ticket to finals here in the Cobx Masters Chennai stop.
Radiant team ban.
Yeah, they either need something more solid or pick the Morphling themselves, because that really worked in the last game. Axe Sky, not a bad opener, not by any means. Up against the Warlock win rate. That's pretty much that's the classic opener, right? Like we throw in some bounds and then we don't care about our enemy, we just pick our combination. Like that's pretty much what we see in any of the pro games, with maybe swapping out the Axe for Beastmaster, like some other supports from time to time. But yeah, I like it. Like these heroes are, well, if everybody's overpowered, no one is overpowered. Plus Axe.
Radiant team ban.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, the thing is with these combos is that they're so strong that they can't really be countered easily. At least not in a way that just makes them not work in completely and just make you lose the game immediately. And Warlock is a good enough diffuser of these situations that makes them less effective, but it's still something that you can play around, and where you have to be careful about how far you actually go to try and throw in some right clicks, how your shadow work economy is actually looking like, and things like that. So yeah, it's going to come down to how you play these dual lanes.
Yeah, and dual lanes are a little bit of a touchy topic right now, because we've seen a lot of tri lanes in so far in the Cobx Masters. I'm pretty sure beside last game, did we had any series where we did not see any defensive or aggressive tri lanes?
Yeah, we certainly seen a fair share of that. That as well as some laning stage breaks down a lot earlier than we thought. Some musical lanes here and there, also even some traditional 4-position roamers. Like there's been a lot more variance than there is the higher levels for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I quite enjoy it. Like, I feel like every competitive game is just the same picks all over right now. There's rarely any flavor in the laning phase. It's mostly focused around the early mid game of team fights. Restricts the playing field for like big plays early on. Like we all want to see like these Enigma black holes and whatnot with an early blink and whatnot.
Yep.
But yeah, it rarely happens these days. There's no more surprise offlane pick on the 5th slot, because you can't really. As we've seen, you can't really go with like your carry reveal on a second pick.
None of the carry is lifestealer for sure.
Yeah, not like
it's way too specific of a hero to make work like that. So unless you have some weird plan where you pick that hero and you shift him in a position somehow, or you pick something else that counters out the counters to that hero that you expect to be picked up, if that makes sense.
Radiant team pick.
Well, yeah, then it's really not a good idea. But more magic zaps. Extra stuns.
More zapping. The zappening is happening. But yeah, Lion Pick is pretty solid against both the Midnight and the Warlock. If you manage to lock down the Warlock early on, you have him as a stun, you have the Scourwrath, so you have some answers to him. There is no Doom ban out yet, so I wonder if we could see, or could have seen instead of the Lion, see like a position for Doom. I would very much like that, but hey, it's a Beastmaster. They're gonna run this in the safe lane, 100%. That's gonna be safe lane Beastmaster with their carry shifting to the off lane. They're gonna dodge out the Axe.
Okay.
Calling it. My words. They're gonna do that. It's going to happen.
We'll see.
10 seconds remaining.
It's just too good. Beastmaster against Axe is just so enjoyable for the Beastmaster. Because Axe goes in on you, even if you eat 2 or 3 hits from the counter helix, you still do more damage to him. And if you keep the Skyrath on your lane as well, you're absolutely fine. You're gonna get lots of experience. So this is one of the drafts where I could definitely see a trial in happening for Underdogs.
I'll have reserve judgment for now, just at least until we see what kind of wood position I want to pick up. Anyway.
Radiant team pick.
Luna's been banned out, so don't have that extra aura to work with if you thinking about coming that up into the mid game with a Beastmaster.
Man, I really wish I saved my solid joke for now. God damn it. It would have been perfect! But yeah, Morphling comes out for Dagger Nation. Don't see the Morph quite yet, and I'm sure Underdogs is not going to pick any agility carry into this to give him a good target. That would be stupid, right? That would be like 4 melees and a Jow kind of stupid.
But you can turn into a Windrunner, and you're just SOP as the Windrunner, on top of being SOP as the Morphling, so...
Can't do that if you're shackled.
Well, Windrunner can't
And the
shackle
downside
you if
is-
she's shackled.
Well,
Huh?
true,
Huh?
but you figure at one certain point, let's assume nobody shackles anyone, she has a focus fire, and second of all, she builds into Maelstrom, so your evasion is not as effective.
Dire team banned.
Unless this is a crazy Morphling Maelstrom build. And I want to see that happen, trust me, but I don't think we will, because there's a Tinker on the field, he needs protection.
Alright, so I've seen, it was a few months ago even, I've seen Chinese teams pick up Tink in the first phase,
Radiant
and actually
team
work more
banned.
often than not, so don't really want to say too much against Tinker at this phase of the draft. Even though, like, you can go on about, hey, Morphling, he's has some ways to close the gap line. Ideally, we'll have a Blink Dagger. Scarab Mage is decent range, and Axe will also build a Blink Dagger. So, this is not going to be the easiest game for the Tinker, especially since there's still a pick
10
open,
seconds remaining.
which could
Spectre
still
build.
be something like the Zeus.
Yeah, I was about to say, like,
Should be banned out
Zeus
by
looks...
Underdogs now.
That has to be banned out. That would be suicide to not ban out the Zeus. Like, Dagger Nation already with the Morphling, they can't give a Spectre anymore, another prominent counter. And like, technically could still do that, but I don't think they want to have a Spectre and you have a Scarif and a Lion and an Axe.
Team pick.
There's the Zeus ban.
Still heroes like Storm Spirit, which
Oh, no. No, not against Wind and Beast. That would be a grave mistake in my opinion.
which is exactly what I was about to say, if you let me finish what I'm talking about. But hey. They still need
10
the carry as well.
seconds remaining.
Really
5 seconds
something that can
remaining.
match up against the Axe. Something that can play basically with frontline for a Tinker. Wouldn't actually hate a Dragon Knight here at this point.
I'm thinking about Troll. Looks good with Beastmaster, good for the Wind as well. Either that or something that can be the absolute frontline for the Tinker. Want to put
Yeah.
my focus.
I'm thinking about it too right now. I mean, Troll would be pretty good as just as a man fight up against the Morphling. Extra blind chance on top of the laser from Tinker, which is also going to come in big potentially.
Everybody will be blinded. Morph will morph into either Tinker or the Troll, and everybody's just blind.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Tinker
Any
actually pretty decent morph target.
alternatives?
Except, yeah. I don't know. I think DK would be the safest option here. Also adds a lot more push. So you have this really strong timing where you have Beastmaster, very powerful by itself. You have the Dragon Knight for some easy damage on towers, and then Windrunner kind of looking for these shackles and quick picks. Warlock to help you out, and Tinker just also spamming the marches.
I could see a
It's very hard
PA
to fight into.
as the damage dealer. If you have your beast in the front, like I still like Troll. You have 5 seconds remaining. PA it would be the flavor pick.
Dire team pick.
Yeah, just dies to Axe.
Faceless Void.
Void,
Just
yeah.
going with the Void.
How do we not think about the Void? Because that's actually pretty decent.
I wasn't thinking about it. I don't think he's that decent, actually, this game. He has lots of natural enemies already. Especially in the carry position, he's going to have a hard lane against Axe.
Ten seconds remaining.
Sure, but this game's not about the landing stage.
5 seconds remaining.
If you lose a landing stage, you're gonna have a hard time, but right now, Dagger Nation, they don't have any tower push whatsoever that hits early.
It's just
Choose your
There's actually a
hero.
Storm Spirit into all of this. Okay, that's It's a bit more interesting. But yeah, the moment Tinker gets a bit of farm, faces Void gets a bit of farm. Like, the longer the game goes, the more comfortable they'll be. Unless the same thing happens like in the last game for the Morphling. If the Morphling gets super strong, and then now with the Storm Spirit, he's a very similar hero in that sense. If you don't snowball, you're gonna have a hard time. Especially against the Void and the Tinker. And the moment you get caught inside the Chronosphere, there will be damage. There will be follow-up one way or another.
Yeah,
if you don't, you just retreat under cover of March Machine. So I don't know. I kind of like this lineup here for Underdogs.
I believe this is more a Dagger game. There will be just that point where the Void gets zoned out, and there's so much stuff in the lane to just bully him. Battle Hunger is one of the spells that is really annoying for him to deal with. Same with the Scouref, because there's so many small instances. You can't dodge all of them.
Didn't you say there was going to be a Beastmaster up against the Axe, though?
Well, we're gonna see.
Yeah.
Nope, going offlane. Dual lanes it is.
So either way, I mean, we'll see how that ends up working out. There's still a Warlock here, and that alone will be enough for, or should be enough, for his lane to not die. That's all you really need, I feel safely.
Grasace. Exact.
Alright. It's middle lane. That's... Question is, like, they were forced into a bit of a Storm pick or something like that to have something reliable up against the Tinker. Like, the moment they find him and Storm has enough mana pool to zip across, then it should be enough to get the kill. And this is the win condition. Like, if you don't get that, you're never gonna win the game. Or at least not until, like, the super late game. But because beyond that, Tinker will always be able to push out side lanes for free. And you're never really going to get anywhere. Or if you do, it's just slow down to a crawl. But it still doesn't really solve the issue of having early tower push, or tower push in general, until the Morphling just gets a lot of farm and can just right-click them down with 300 or 400 damage a pop. So
the battle begins.
I can certainly see good timing for Radiance in that sense as well. Or like, much easier timing, I should say.
Yeah, the timings will be easier indeed. So, what about the mid lane? I know, Tinker Storm is like the classic line we see all over again. Did you actually see who spotted at which ward? It was... it should be the Dire Ward seeing the Radiant one, unless there's a smoke going on, I missed, so... It should be a D-Ward down the road. Like, really good block coming out from Good.
Oh, yeah.
Will hurt him, actually, but... Tinker can't...
So it's almost too good, isn't it?
It's a little bit almost too good, but Tinker has troubles last hitting the towers. And he also, like, he can either take the rounds from the creeps or just pull them in. And the last thing you want to take is, like, losing health early on.
Yeah. I mean, technically, you should have enough damage to be able to play around it, but so far it's not been all that successful. Not using laser either to try and secure some of these, and as a result, sitting at one single last hit. Unfortunate. Or at least he's getting the level, so it's not good. I'm able to deny things. Well, the side lanes, right now they're going as you would expect. Spams from the 4 positions. Down bottom, the heal. We'll keep the Faceless Void going for now. Chopper. I actually went for the spin level 1. It's actually less common these days, I feel like.
Yeah.
I see more and more Axes go for the Battle Hunger just to try and harass them out. Would be very effective against the Warlock in particular.
For some reason it works against the Void though. It's like, against the melee plus Warlock, Warlock wants to naturally hit you. Maybe, but... I think it's just gonna skip out on the call. Tries to max out the Battle Hunger, because they can always pressure the Void into not lasting with this guy.
Yeah. So far so good. Keeping up quite evenly here, even though the extra few denies coming out for Dante. And if you look on the flip side, Beastmaster, well, little bit more successful up against Morphling, even leading him in terms of CS.
Yeah, it's fairly common for the Morph, especially if you have a good ranger with an Orb of Venom on your lane. And, oh, the Ravage into pause.
Ah. Someone disconnected apparently.
But who could it be?
Or maybe
Wait,
it means
that's
something
no
else with
disconnect.
DC? I don't know.
Alright, honoring digital chaos. Gotta go with it. However they call it now.
I have no idea. Chaos,
Yeah.
just chaos, I think, isn't it?
I only follow good Dota, so I don't follow DC. No NA teams allowed.
Got him. Oh boy, guys, suddenly has to be careful. Keeping slowed down by 2 different spells right now. So Chopper is getting pretty damn close. Almost went the last break. Like the bat just in time, but the arcane missile. The arcane bolt strong enough to get first blood for himself. That's despite the heal, so.
Despite the heal, despite the bash. Yeah.
Just level 1
is
with
a
all the
perfect
spells. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, we know. Arcane Bolt is really balanced. We love Sky because he's so balanced.
Well, at least Warlock has to stick some stick. Has a magic stick now.
Yeah, there's like Warlock, Wind Ranger, and Sky in this game, and it really wants to make me rage. That's like so unpleasant. If you would like, be on any of those teams, like I don't want to go up against them.
Oh no! Oh, the Kipper is so strong. The Skyriff Mage hit level 3, so he had the silence to prevent the lead. But he silenced the creep, so that they still get the time walk off. That would have been a kill there for sure.
That creep did shut up though.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Say anything.
I couldn't cast any spells whatsoever.
It's just psychological warfare. Hey, we don't even need to kill you to win this game. Don't even need to hit our spells. What do you think about that? Middle lane. I think he actually got himself a DD rune, and lasers starting to come in big too, but it looks of it. As poor get good. Only sitting at 8 and 2 to the 18 and 10.
Seems like he has to get good.
Yeah. So
Honestly,
the only disadvantage didn't really materialize into more in favor of the Storm, so he's already forced to go into the jungle, which just cannot feel bad, even with the arcane rune. Oh, it cannot feel good, I should say.
Morph has to watch out here. If he catches like axes into like a power shot, he's dead.
Yeah.
I want to see that snipe happening. It's a little bit done.
The axis, there's a power shot off the mark though. And through creeps anyways, so.
Yeah.
Been some damage mitigated.
I think this is the point where on Syndicate you just stay in the side of the trees and you just wait for your chance. Or do that. That works. Power shot, by the way.
There's the axis, but no,
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, he's surely getting harassed out of this lane, that's for sure.
Lead the outer region line as well, so yeah, this lane is a complete success. The Syndicate. Ooh!
No,
not a talisman. So Daiki is still on onside for now.
Sniper here.
Oh
In the meantime,
my god.
Boyker.
Yeah, he's dead.
No. Or is he? Yeah, he is. Ah, I hate power shot like the plague.
So ridiculous. Picks up the bounty rune, just randomly throws a power shot into that direction. Didn't even know the storm was there, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, but wait, there's more.
Yeah, that's another one. Daiki also got super loaded there and has to start morphing strength. One level 2 is not the fastest in the world, but enough to keep him, or get him home. So this lane is an absolute disaster for the Dire. Same
really
as
do
mid
hate
for
power
a
shot.
number of different reasons now.
Oh, goddammit, that spell is just so absolutely... No.
They're not even sacrificing the Void too hard for that. I mean, it's sitting at 25 and 11. Sure, Axe is getting those levels, but Void is not really being slowed down.
Cool. Has the infused raindrop now survived that one? He would have died without it. He just got it.
Yeah, now he has to wait for the Courier to bring some extra region down, because it's going towards the Storm at the moment. Also needs that extra region. He has the bottle now, but they're just wasting so much time. Whereas Tinker is just happily sitting in lane, getting his own levels, top lane, just continuing to dominate. Because Beastmaster's out of mana now, so at least you have that.
Man, this Curry has a lot of attack. Blades of attack. Oh, 2 face boots just coming out at 7 minutes. Oh, that's gonna be ugly for the morph. That's a lot of damage.
The face boots was earlier, there's just no way he can stay in lane.
Yeah.
Lion is sitting barely in XP range at this point. Just can't afford to get any closer.
At this point, Lion is more tanky than the morph because they don't want to go on him because then they can just one hit avoid the morph.
There's the call coming in, the silence, but this should be enough for Time Walk and do a lot of damage here and also link together. There's no real way to go for kills, but again, they're not dying either. Face's voice absolutely fine. He doesn't even care about the axe still being there. Just walks in to pick up his boots of speed. So, yeah, you better hope this axe is gonna find some good blink calls. Or these kind of plays, they certainly much more feasible here. Going into the Warlock, damage over time, another Arcane Bolts. So, but in return, RC Assassin, Time Walk forward, the extra right click is there. And Chopper, the Chronosphere is just coming in. 1 or 2 Time Walks will secure the kill.
He got it from the kill.
You're not in it.
It feels really bad right now for the Dire side.
I think it was excellently played in the end.
Oh well. Underdogs. Only in name, not really in actuality. The way it looks right now, anyway. There's a zip. Whack up my mouse. Knocked out, but Banshee, well, stunned up. They'll kill him. Full of packs there to make sure the Warlock cannot possibly help out. He only used the Shadow Word aggressively anyway. So this is a good kill. They need a lot more out of that. And I guess Tinker at the very least doesn't have any big stacks. Just one in the hard camp still. What? Okay. Not even a roll used.
Just, you know, just killing him off. There's nothing wrong here. I'm gonna run the back power shot the entire game. I hope you're fine with that.
I can understand.
I would say there's no drawback to that spell, but there literally is.
Oh well, that's a TPN from the Windrunner, looking to get a shackle, power shot on a half health, come back to right clicks, but they still need some help for the faces forward. As Axe walking in on the stick just in time for the dunk to miss. They get the kill. 1-for-1 trade. Another shackle not available. Instead goes for the ultimate. Not sure if that's the best idea up against the Axe at this point. Boyka should end up taking out on the spin on the right click. And well, Tinker says low. Nice shackle. And the right clicks. Another kill for him. So that'll be getting closer towards the Boots of Travel. But this time around, that fight a little bit more questionable than it was before. That was even without the Vanguard on the Axe. He proved to be quite tanky there.
Smart money.
Money. 2 bound wounds each, and well, super low has to pop the roar just to keep the Storm Spirit away from him.
Yeah, defensive roll never feels good. It almost feels like it's better to just take the death and keep it off of cooldown. He's only level 6, so he respawns quite fast, but I didn't think he wanted to lose that money from his Shadow Blade.
Yeah.
And he's rushing it. Like, the moment he gets the Shadow Blade, the Morph will just die over whenever there's a roar.
Both his money and also not willing to give anything over to the Storm Spirit.
Yeah,
like,
true
even
enough.
just half a minute more that he doesn't have an item. Like, it's gonna pay back in the end.
Yeah, but all 3 calls on the side of Underdogs are doing pretty much better, and like it's the same story as last game. They slowly pull ahead.
Call will miss here. That's Mystic Flare. Also not enough to finish off Boyka, and they can turn this around with Golem. There it is. Fatal Bonds on 2 on top of the Chronosphere. Don't quite have the Golem hitting, so not the perfect Chrono, but it will be enough to secure at least the 1 kill. Very costly. Both of these ultimates being used. And they wanted to try to take advantage of that. There's a Zip. Boyka is still super low from earlier. And right click down like a good. Though, look at him jumping. And Tinker, well, TP onto the creep, but of course he could have also TP'd onto the golem. That's another thing that could go for themselves later down the line. So
looking for the morph top.
Yeah. Oh.
Radiant's bottom tower
The
is
axis.
under attack.
Wrong direction.
I would not
just
morph that
sticking.
much. Yeah.
Actually quite effective. Not even close. That was one hit him, by the way. That is a maxed out power shot. Oh, not completely maxed out. It's 360, but he had 220 health. So
Yeah.
that would have been his death.
Oh, the CRC assassin. They have another row available, but an instant TP in from the axe. We'll send them packing. They don't quite want to fight this with Banshee not having a few more marches down. In fact, he's TPing out of there. Really good. He has a nice little shackle. That's it. Not long enough for the storms, but as they refocus onto the Windrunner, which is already on the safety of this tier 1 tower. Oh, Banshee's back with lasers, with the rockets.
Pew!
Could have maybe found
Lots
the
of
Beastmaster
pew.
there if they had an inkling that he was still sitting inside the woods there. Okay, as it stands, space created, big rotation up top. Bottom lane, faces Void, continues to farm.
Yeah, making a little bit of pressure on the tower. Don't think he's gonna finish it off. I believe there's still a TP at least somewhere on anyone. There's one on the morph. Only last year we got the TP down there. But yeah. Chopper's getting a lot of farm on the axe. At least.
Dire's bottom tower is under
There's more
attack.
happening here. No follow from Beastmasters to try and isolate the Windrunner. Still proving to be quite tanky, even without the Windrunner at this point. But there's the Raw. They still want to take this fight, but Ralph take a lot of damage in return. They are committed, but it's too late. The thing of
The
death,
hesitation
he saved
killed
his own
him.
life. Yeah.
Dire's bottom
Banshee, I
tower
mean,
is under
sure you have
attack.
Boots of Travel,
Dire's
but you don't have
bottom
Blink Dagger
tower
just yet. You don't
has
only have that level 1 rearm, so you can't
Radiant's top tower
instantly
is
throw
under
on more
attack.
than one set of spells. Down bottom, power comes in, but there's reinforcements. Get good, trying to focus on Vodka and dodges the Chronosphere as a result. Not sure if Dante can actually get this kill, not without getting a lot luckier with the time locks. Vodka, can he TP out? Yes, there's no call. The dunk, not in time. Now Tinker comes in, and she finds a storm, and now Chopper. Also pretty damn low with the shackle. Secured a secondary kill. Plenty of time for Banshee to actually finish off that one rearm. Phew, what a game. This +1 from Tinker. Proven to help out. This time to actually get some kills, not just chasing them away.
Yeah, it's not just playing defensive on Tinker, which you usually expect. He did went for the Maximus build. Now has the amount of, has a good amount of levels, so he can actually afford charting around the map. I'm talking about it's 10 to 9 at 40 minutes, but the team with the Tinker has 5 gig gold ahead over the team with a morph. I don't think this morph will get the link history anytime soon. Even if he gets it, there's so much stuff that just pierces it straight up.
Under attack.
Yeah.
Like, Windranger doesn't care. Like, yeah, I guess I shackle shot you with my level 1 shackle shot, and after that I kill you. That pretty much applies to any other hero as well. Like, the only thing that would effectively would be nice to block would be the Fatal Bonds. Everything else is just expendable.
This could be something here. Faces Void, moved down. Almost not enough damage there, but they have plenty of control between the two of them. They also secured a bouncy room, so well-timed rotation, and
Dire's
especially if
top
Storm
tower
gets the
is
bounty
under
rooms up
attack.
top.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
It's gonna be a huge injection of gold.
Oh,
Not get the
jump.
fourth one, at least.
I think if they didn't power shot, they would have had to kill there.
Maybe. Have to find the roll for sure.
Raw has a pretty big range. Storm doesn't have the best night vision.
Let's still find it soon. Ralph already with the Shadow Blade completed. Looking for a target here in mid. That's the juicy one still with the Morphling. Already forced out, and there it is. The Raw. No more Morphing strength. Needs a little bit of extra damage though, and doesn't have it alone. That's a turnaround play. Golem though. Fatal Bonds for a couple of seconds. This is a little bit too spread out. They're not coming it up properly, and
Dire's
Yeah,
middle tower is
that
under
was a pretty failed attempt with the Beastmaster. I think he overestimated his damage by quite a mile there.
X comes back. Still doesn't have the blink,
Blink
'cause he
yet.
still went for the Vanguard first.
Yeah, which I still agree on. You want to build in a Crimson Guard against the Windranger. Pretty good against the Beastmaster too. So that's probably the right call. Works against the Golems as well. So it's probably preferable to get the Vanguard earlier than later building it when you have some money left over.
Oh, Doesn't mean that still does mean that at this point you're limited in your initiation potential. So you have to basically bide your time trying to get the farm that you need, and basically accept that Tinker is also going to farm. Like there's very few ways for them to put on pressure on the Tinker without the Radiant being able to counterplay them.
Yeah, who do you find Ralph here? Or do they have a sentry?
Follow-up stun, Thing of Death, still just in sentry range. Damn. Well played there by Sinjin, setting it up for Good. A lot of money coming his way, and what's on the career? Kaya completed.
Yeah, this is where the Storm just starts doing something. Like, I'm okay with Axe skipping out on a Blink Dagger to build up the Vanguard first, and then slowly move into it. But Storm effectively takes over initiation role now. We've seen it multiple times. There's not much that can actually stop him. Yes, there's a Beastmaster as well as a Wind Ranger, but he wasn't the focus for them at all so far. And I don't think it's going to change in the next 1 or 2 fights. They need to reserve the Beastmaster role for heroes like the Morph. Might even reserve it for like Lion or whatnot to take him out in the beginning of the fight, and effectively move in a different direction in those fights.
Dire's bottom
We're running out of time though.
attack.
Smoke will be broken here. That Ascension in a good position.
Invisibility.
Industry taking over. That's Observer Sentry combo, so that will really help them in that particular. Oh, they see it. They still find something here. Depends on whether they're able to anticipate this particular rotation to side jungle. They don't. Daiki, Chronode, and Raw. It's a bit of a miscommunication, but they get the kill regardless. That's all that really matters.
Miscommunication. Yeah, some miscommunication, but still a valid response to a Morph pick. Just throw everything you have on him. Eventually, he will die.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Right now, with
Dire structures are
it's
fortified.
very important to kill him now when it's easier compared to later when he has the Blinking Sphere to work with. Then you have to use a Chrono or have something else that can proc it. And right now, Beastmaster doesn't build into that.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, got the Necro Book queued up. Now is switching towards a medallion.
Yeah, I feel like he's not going for the right items on Beastmaster. Necrobook or Medallion both don't really work out that well against Morph. I think even taking drastic steps like going for the what's it called? For the Soul Vessel would be a good idea. Just to have that against the Morph up and running. I think that's the prime item. Like, and with a Shadow Blade, you will have enough charges on the Beastmaster. You eventually find some kills on weak supports.
True, and yeah, I mean, no one else is going for the Urn into Spirit Vessel either. Windrunner looking for the Yule Scepter. Warlock, of course, not likely to get a lot of gold in the first place.
Smart money is mine.
Well,
Shadow Blade.
at the very least, Medallion will also help you going for the
Radiant's
Roche,
top tower is under attack.
if that's on your mind as well, which might be enough to also help you win the teamfight regardless. Just basically kite the Morphling around as much as you can, just between lasers, Chronospheres, and whatnot. Even if you don't kill him, if you kill the rest of the team, you still can't fight you. But now, the Link Dagger picked up on the axe. This is where the story starts. Blink reveal, perhaps, on the Tinker if you can scout him out inside the trees, but him and his own Blink already? Yeah, it's very hard to actually accomplish. Unless you have some high ground vision or open running.
I think the best way for him would be to go for that Blade Mail now. I mean, that's further down the road. Of course, he wants to still find a reveal on the Blink Dagger. It's not scouted yet. But down the road, if you have that Blade Mail, you just blink into the march with the Blade Mail on and then just catch him out.
Thanks for your mid. Once again, Morphing caught out without being able to get the Morph off in time. Not sure if it would have been enough regardless with the Tinker right next to them. For now, Syndicate, only one down bottom. Does not get the lockdown in immediately. But they will be able to zap her down.
Zapped. I really like how they utilize the Lion, sorry. In this situation, it's Senjin again. Not that great of a game this time, but that's due to the fact that I have a more defensive lineup. He's still 3-1-6, So 9 out of 13 kills. It's a better ratio, but he died once, so I guess he still gets a pass. It's just they always use him so effectively. I'm only worried that this guy's not getting enough, but right now he's looking actually pretty decent. We've already way on the way to the ATOS, only needs 700 gold and he has the recipe up and running. We'll probably get rolled here any second now. Oh, is he?
Storm coming somehow. Now Beastmaster sees stuns. I mean, probably Gitgoat bursting him down. No Raws in this lane, but Gitgoat expended all of his mana.
Oh, bad.
He will die to Dante. This happens one Shadow Blade already used. It's on cooldown now, but Banshee, well, eventually should be able to secure himself that extra kill. Popping the march for it.